every step of the way to ensure your vote is counted accurately and securely. For more information and updates, visit arizona.vote, your trusted source of election information. This message is sponsored by the Arizona Secretary of State's office.
You know, it seems like everybody's talking about the traffic on Valley Roads these days. You know what else everybody's talking about? The absolute best restaurant to take your family and friends to, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. Now with 2 Valley locations. No one does it better than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is dinnertainment at its best, where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for any occasion. Choose from over 50 different items and combinations of teppanyaki. Looking for great dining without the show? Kasai offers an awesome selection on Asian-inspired dishes and tasty sushi. Happy hour deals daily from 6 p.m. and enjoy outdoor dining on the heated patio. So whether you're here for spring training, March Madness, or just to enjoy the Arizona sunshine, don't just take your guests to dinner. You take them to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse with 2 locations, Scottsdale and now in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's Kasai Teppan.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
One of the most common questions people ask is if they can still afford to retire on $1 million or $2 million anymore. With stocks near all-time highs and bonds at all-time lows, it's actually a great question. 2008 taught millions of retiring engineers, teachers, and other professionals a costly lesson that years of market gains can be wiped out in just weeks of market losses. Not a problem if you're 30 years old with a few decades to make it back, but not if you are in retirement or almost there. I like to follow the 30-50-70 rule. The closer you are to 50 or 70, then at least 30 to 50% of your money should be kept safe at all times, like in an uncapped, principal secure, next generation annuity. Come and see why.
Call leading annuity authority Steve Jurich now at 480-902-3333. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so compare with Steve. Call 480-902-3333 and visit iqannuity.com.
KQFN AM Tempe, K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM, K240EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Listen to Jim Rome and the Jungle, weekday mid-mornings on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic, live from the Harmon Solar Studios.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
And welcome everybody to a Monday edition of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale. My name is Randy White. Right over there, the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. That's Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien is out today. He'll be back Wednesday. It's a full 3 hours of Daily Blender goodness, and I hope everybody has had a great week off. Today on the program, as you text in on the text line at 888-368-1580, you are the fourth dimension, and we don't drive without you. So I hope you're tuning in today and enjoying a beautiful, shall I say, Chamber of Commerce day here in the great state of Arizona. Jeffrey out today, as I said. Ralph Romano not joining us today. Ralph not here. I'm not sure why. We might talk about that. But we've got so many things to talk about on the program today. 3 full hours. How's your bracket doing? Next hour, a lot happening in the Orlando meetings for the NFL. They made some changes. Perhaps you heard Shohei Ohtani's in trouble. Well, maybe not him, but I mean, surrounding him. Perhaps you heard that. Keon Rose is going to give us our month. It's 1 month today from the NFL draft in Detroit. Keon, can you tell me why did the NFL select Detroit to do the NFL draft?
No particular reason. I don't think. I think they just want to make sure that all the fan bases kind of feel included. They've been doing it as more of a tour lately. So
the last time that Detroit was picked as a draft headquarters.
It's been a while, but they haven't been doing the haven't been doing the tour NFL draft for forever. So this is this is still pretty new. A lot of
this sort of like a new thing. Then,
yeah.
that's
So
what you're saying.
so the idea that you move the draft around, that's
Yeah.
a more recent thing that the NFL's been doing, and
All
I
right.
like it.
Okay, all right.
So
Mhm.
I don't know why Detroit in particular, but the timing couldn't be better. The
Isn't the
fan base
water
is
bad?
actually fired up.
Isn't the water bad in Detroit?
I don't think
Aren't
specifically
we kind
in
of
Detroit.
worried about the commissioner and all these recruits, these new guys coming in here, going to the draft? Aren't we kind of worried about them with the water situation there?
I
Detroit.
don't think so. No, I think the water's different city, in Michigan, close to Detroit, but I don't think Detroit.
All right, we got a lot to cover today, and we've got
Flint.
3 hours to
Flint,
do it.
Michigan. That's what
Oh, Flint is where the water is bad.
I think somebody's going
Because
to correct me on that. But
Water can't go wherever it wants to. It just only it's contained in Flint, Michigan.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Where's Flint in regards to Detroit? I mean,
Oh, I don't know. Now
that
we're
like a
talking about a
suburb?
region of the world I've never,
is that like a
I've
well?
never
I
been
mean,
to.
I ask you. You're our expert. You've been kind of everywhere. I mean,
Yeah, just not that far north,
Hmm.
except once, but it was
All
a
right.
weekend.
So yeah, 888-368-1580. That is the text line. Had some weird text when we got on today. Not gonna lie. Beer Bob 3 days ago on the text line at 7:03 p.m. on March 22nd said, "Okay, done." Okay. What? We weren't on last week. The March 22nd, that was what, Friday?
That was the second day of the NCAA tournament.
So is he saying, is Beer Bob saying he's out of the
Was he saying his bracket is done?
bracket's done?
Because I can understand that around 7:03 p.m. on Friday, my bracket was also done.
Yeah.
As in toast. As in
Got
finished.
another text over the weekend, March 25th. Now is it that's today at 11:41, right?
Yep.
March 25th, that's today. This is Kermit in Boise, Idaho. What the hell? My ATP question is this.
Oh boy.
What's the legal difference between image and likeness referring to NIL? I have Googled it until my fingers hurt, and the best I can find is likeness is in the definition of image. But if they are the same, why use both?
It's a pretty solid observation, I guess.
3 hours. Let's see. 3. Let's see. 2, 1. Would have been 12. 11:41 a.m. That would have been 11 in the. So that's during Rome, right? This must have been a text for Rome. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot reach Jim Rome on this text line.
He has his
This
own
text
line.
line, yeah, he has his own, and I don't know what it is. But this is not Jim Rome's text line. This is for the radio station here at 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. But listen, I mean, if you want to text Jim Rome, we'll read them. It's not going to make a whole lot of sense. Kermit in Idaho. In Boise. Beautiful place, by the way, Boise, Idaho. 888-368-1580. All right, so the first question on the docket today, Keon. So we had a week off, and obviously Jeffrey's still off. How's your bracket doing?
It's dead. It has died.
So your bracket is dead
It's
right
dead.
now.
It's dead. It was unfortunate. I had a good Thursday. I went to bed, and then somewhere between Thursday and Friday night, someone stabbed my bracket to death. All of these red X's are everywhere. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
I still got Houston. That's all I'm going to say about that. I still got Houston.
Damn.
I believed in the upsets a lot this year, and I got a lot of chalk to show for it. So
I just okay. Hey, first of all, I want to apologize to Radio Ron. I did not believe in Michigan State, and clearly Michigan State they won their game decisively over Mississippi State. I thought Mississippi State was for real, and they weren't. Okay, Michigan State won and moved on. But after that, wow. North Carolina proving that they belong. And we'll talk about that in a minute. How about Grand Canyon? Okay, all right, wait. I didn't think Grand Canyon was going to get a past St. Mary's. St. Mary's was a 5. GCU was a 12.
And look, 12s beat 5s all the time, but
Well,
this particular St. Mary's team,
I know there's a trend there,
was
but
good, man. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I picked St. Mary's. I picked the Gales. I picked the wrong 12s and 5s, and I'll leave it there. But I do think that, yeah, I think the GCU looked like the better team in that entire game, and that was surprising too. Like at no point in the game did St. Mary's look like the superior team. It just didn't happen.
All right, so that's and then then I picked New Mexico. I thought New Mexico, they've been sneaky good. Geez, that was a mistake on my part. How about Dayton? Who saw Dayton coming in here? And I mean, they won by 3 in the first round. They move on to go against Arizona in the second round. Well, they got thumped in the second round, Arizona. And then so that's the West region. Midwest, I was okay. I wasn't great. Purdue, I've got Purdue going until Kansas let me down. Kansas let me down.
Yeah, look, I got history with Kansas. The history of me picking Kansas is usually led into disaster for me. I don't pick Kansas to do anything anymore. That is, I've been wrong about it a few times, but I don't care. I don't trust Kansas on my bracket, and I largely felt good about it.
And last night's game against Texas A&M, I thought Houston was going down for sure. I thought that was it. It's over for Houston. A&M, towards the end of the game, I thought A&M was going to win that game in a dramatic fashion. 195 final. Houston moves on. They'll face Duke on Friday night. Which Duke, I didn't think Duke was going to move on. I didn't think Duke was that good. I mean, if you watch Duke,
it's one of the few things I got right. Is I thought Duke was pretty good this year. Streaky. So, in some ways hard to trust, but when they're on, that's a good Duke team.
And what the hell happened to Kentucky?
John Calipari, usual John Calipari in March shenanigans, where he has a team that's got a bunch of NBA guys on it or a couple of NBA guys on it, and then they don't do anything and don't go anywhere and don't compete for much. And I didn't see first round exit for them, but I don't know. I've seen him do less with more talent.
I mean, Kentucky was a 3 seed.
They were. That's why it's madness, man.
If anything out of this, if you can get anything out of this, you cannot go with the seeding. I'm sorry. Okay, Marquette has proven to be a quality 2 seed, but Kentucky, they're lost in the second round. They lost in the second round.
You can't. The seeding is not a good way to make decisions in your bracket. You know who wins majority of the time in some of these matchups. 1 seed still overwhelmingly win. You'd still be crazy to choose the 16 to beat the 1 for the most part, but you start to get down to 3, 4, 5. Those schools that are ranked there, we have no clue.
Oakland beats Kentucky in the first stinking round, or I call it the second round because it's after the play-in games. So it's the first round, 80-76, Oakland wins. They move on. They get beat by NC State. And they only get beat by 6 points. NC State is moving on. They'll face Marquette. My bracket is doing okay. I'm doing all right. I've got I'm ranked 51 right now, but I don't know how to do this. Keon and I were talking about this before the show. So in the East, I still have UConn alive. I still have I've got Iowa State alive. I've got Illinois still alive. In the West, North Carolina, I have them alive. Alabama, I've got them alive. I've got Baylor. No, Baylor lost. No, damn. Arizona's still alive. I had Baylor moving on. Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Of my Final Four,
what a mess.
The remaining team is Houston. That's the end of the list.
Well, I still have Tennessee and UConn still alive in my.
There you go. I didn't think Tennessee was going to make it.
Yeah,
I'm not even going to lie to you. I did not
Tennessee
trust them
UConn.
to go particularly far. And hats off
so
to Rick Barnes.
I'm ranked 51. Keon, where are you at? Where are you at?
I'm at 91.
You're at 91. But do you have a chance to move up though?
I do.
Because we're moving into the Sweet 16.
Because I've got Houston winning the whole thing. So as long as Houston keeps winning, I can keep moving up.
Boy, I thought they were going to give it away last night.
I thought so too. I thought I was done. I was prepared to not be able to look at my bracket. This is the first year I don't have a physical copy of it to get angry and throw away. And I thought I was going to have to print one. Because that's just part of how this goes.
As you can hear in the background, Cecil's bracket is already dead.
Yeah, me and Cecil had a lot of similar picks.
Do you have anybody? Where's Jeffrey at? Where's Jeffrey? Do you have that? I can't figure out how to look at the standings for us.
Yeah, I actually didn't have it pulled up on the computer because it was my computer was acting funky, but I've got it on my phone here. So here are the standings. We're going to get to the very bottom here to find the all vowel or most vowels or less vowels.
All
I know is Jeffrey had one and Ralph had the other, picking either with all the vowels, with most the team with the most vowels moving on, or the team with the fewest vowels moving on. I don't remember who did what, but for Ralph, it did not work out to the tune of him being ranked second to last. He is 143rd in the Harmon Solar Bracket Challenge.
All right. All right.
And then Jeffrey didn't do a whole lot better. Jeffrey is 141st. He is fourth from last.
Now,
boy, with Mississippi State winning everything because Mississippi State has the most vowels. So that's done.
They need to go out early, don't they?
And I noticed not too far ahead of both of them is Pippi No Stockings at 140 in our bracket pool.
She's at 140.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Did not have a good outing.
Where's Radio? Can you find Radio Ron? Do you see him in there somewhere?
Yeah, I'll see if I can find him.
Who's one of the listeners? Who's our leading listener? Do you have the leading listener right now?
I don't know because everybody did not use their texter nickname, so I don't know.
Damn it! I wish everybody would use your texter name, but anyway, go ahead.
So Josh Catrone is first, whichever texter that could be. If
Catrone
in fact
sounds like a tequila.
It does, doesn't it? Well, let's see. I'll have to bump around here and see if I can find Radio Ron.
Is he using Radio Ron? He's got to be using Radio Ron.
Big George is 10th.
Big George 10.
Yeah.
Hey, all right.
Berg is 51st, so good run.
Berg,
there.
All right.
And I think I found Radio Ron, also 51st.
Radio Ron is 51. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's having a very good run, and from the looks of his bracket, there's still a lot of things that are working here. So good for him.
All right. All right, 888-368-1580. The texter coming in from the fourth dimension. What is your bracket up to? Would love to hear from you. And we will continue to talk some college basketball, some upsets, long shots. Looking forward with Keon. Also, who's your Elite Eight moving forward? We'll get some Suns action. Suns in action tonight against San Antonio in San Antonio again, which we'll break down the GCU Alabama game. We've got a lot to cover today. It's 3 hours of the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns are in San Antonio tonight to take on the Spurs. The two teams met Saturday in San Antonio, with the Suns winning 131-106. Devin Booker had 32 points, and Phoenix has now won 3 in a row and 5 of their last 7. Tonight, they're a 13-point favorite, minus 750 on the money line. San Antonio plus 530 with an over-under of 234.5. Also tonight, the Clippers are home in Los Angeles to take on the Pacers. LA a 6-point home favorite, minus 225. Pacers plus 188. The over-under in Los Angeles at 233. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every basket, every game, every point, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a three-pointer at the buzzer to tie the game, or a player goes 2 for 2 at the foul line. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harman Solar today. Harman Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harman Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
The dictionary describes madness as frenzy, rage, intense excitement, or enthusiasm. We define it like this.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. To James the Drew for the win.
The madness is coming.
God! Oh! Drew did it. Touchdown dribble. Drew!
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, the home for March Madness.
Yeah, it certainly is a home for March Madness here on 1580, 99.3 The Fanatic. Thursday night, it's round 1 of the Sweet 16, and then Friday night, Sweet 16 again. Then we've got the Elite 8 on Saturday and Sunday, and then Championship Monday. Championship Monday here on, is it Monday, Keon? When are you guys going out to Radio Row? You and Ralphie are going out to Radio Row. You and
I was not
Harmon
informed
Ralph.
of this.
You were not?
I was not, as per usual in this.
Oh,
I'm the last person to learn.
Well, I got
what I'm doing.
I got a message. You're going to be out at Final Four out at the big stadium. I'm actually coming in and doing your job. I'm going to be in the control room on championship. Is it Championship Monday? Championship Monday.
It is a Championship Monday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, well, I didn't mean to surprise you with that, but 888-368-1580. Lots going on here on the big radio station. Suns vying for is a playoff position. Trying to work their way into instead of a play-in game, trying to work their way into a seeded game. Is there some sort of so I don't have all the details, but there was a referee removed from one of these games. Was it women's or was it men's? Over the weekend, a referee was removed by one of the games because a of a conflict of interest. And he had a degree from one of the oh gosh, I'll have to look that up. But it reminds me of basketball in the NBA. Why does the Lakers have so many foul shots every game? Wonder what's going on there.
Tommy Paris was the official. They got removed.
Tommy Paris.
From officiating.
Was that the women's?
Yeah, it was the women's side. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. He had like a degree or something from the college he was officiating, right?
Yeah. He had a master's degree from actually my alma mater, Chattanooga. And so the NCAA asked all the officials who were in the tournament to disclose which schools they were either attending or have some kind of relationship with. Maybe your kid goes there or something like that. Disclose all of that stuff so you can avoid all those conflicts. In this particular instance, it was not disclosed, though. And so they had to take Tommy Paris off the off the game.
He tried to get in there without disclosing it? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah. Yeah. Got a master's from the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga. And didn't let them know. And Tennessee did make, Chattanooga did make that the women's side of that tournament. So
Radio Ron on the text line. Blender will be broadcasting from Radio Row with Ralph and Keon on site at the Phoenix Convention Center on Friday, April 5th, part of the Final Four fan experience activities downtown. Randy and Jeffrey are in studio that day.
I really,
there it is, official word.
I am concerned because I'm willing to do it. I just didn't know.
Keon on site at the Phoenix Convention Center with Ralph, April 5th, as part of the Final Four fan experience activities. Now, are you going to do some like foul shots?
I don't even know what's there. I have
no
idea.
It's fan activities. I'm sure there's going to be foul shots, layup contests, some sort of dunk thing.
Yeah, we can. You know,
I think
we can
you
do
and
all
Ralph,
the things.
You and Ralph should be doing like the dunk thing. Maybe the dunk tank. Maybe put Ralph on the seat and you throw softballs and dunk him in the dunk tank.
That
I'm assuming that's the dunk tank.
They got a basketball court out there. We can test Ralph's ankles, see how they hold up.
Does Ralph have ankles?
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out together.
Mr. Sweaty Pants listening online. Mr. Sweaty Pants says, hey, listening online here. I'm barely here in first. LOL. Mr. Sweaty Pants is in first. How about that? All right.
So
congratulations.
That's you. Okay.
All right.
Josh, a.k.a. Mr. Sweaty Pants.
Mr. Sweaty Pants in first. Barely hanging on. LOL. Moist One says, DJ Burns, heart.
No.
Sorry for your loss, Moist One. Let's see. Fifth letter. Does 76th place still have a chance? I have UNC winning it all. Yeah. Wow. Does UNC have a chance of beating UConn? Keon? I mean,
yeah.
UConn has beat a bunch of people by double digits. It's like they're just walking through this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, look, UConn's been amazing this season, but I still think you kind of have to be a little careful with it because UConn has been beaten this season, and
but only like twice or three times.
Yes, three times. So it's hard to do, but this isn't the NBA playoffs, right? Like we're not talking about could UNC beat UConn in a 7-game series. They can't. But can they beat them for a game? Yeah. And you better believe that they're in there. Hubert Davis is telling his guys exactly that. This is just a game. We play 40 minutes and this thing's over. If we show up, we play the best defense we can play, and we're shooting well. They absolutely can. It's
gonna have to wait and see what their matchup is. What their matchups are. I think. I mean, UConn right now has been the class of the field. Let's see here. Ralph has the crab says, hi guys. I think I'm going well so far on the bracket challenge. He says, let's go UNC. Well, I mean, you might be, We'll see. Anything can happen. I don't have any. I have no thoughts on this. I fill out my bracket literally. I mean, Keon takes a time to fill out his bracket. Keon is well educated. He watches a lot of games. Me, I catch some highlights. I watch a few games, and then I kind of go into. I watch like some of the talking heads, and I have some of them I trust, and some of them I don't. I don't like the fast talkers. I like the guys that have been around for a long time, and those talking heads I'll listen to. But the fast talkers. So that's how I fill out my brackets. It takes me exactly about 5 minutes. Literally, it takes me 5 minutes to fill out my bracket.
I can fill out my bracket pretty quick, but then it's the next few days of tinkering, and I switch this back and I switch this back.
See, that's the thing. The tinkering that gets me every time.
Yeah. And this year I tinkered my way out of a pretty decent bracket, probably. I'm looking back on some of the original picks I had, I'm like, damn it.
I know I tinkered myself out of Grand Canyon because I had them going into the third round.
I believed way too much in St. Mary's. I won't tell you how far I had them going, but far enough to ruin me. Still happy for GCU, though.
Yeah, I'm very happy for GCU. We'll talk about that in a second. Listen, Swazman says, I listed myself as Swazman on the brackets. Does Keon see where I am on the list? Keon, do you see where Swazman is?
Hold on.
Standing by. I'll read another one while you look here. Moist One says, the guy I mentioned, DJ Burns, he's the big guy from NC State. So did he die? Or why do you have a heart? DJ Burns' heart. What does that mean? Did he pass?
I sure hope not. It does sound pretty ominous when you have that.
Our deepest condolences to DJ Burns. Fifth letter says RJ Davis will have to put up 30 plus. Yeah, I mean, but these guys really step up for this thing, right?
They do.
A lot of these players, for whatever reason, I don't think they hold back during the season, but I think they step it up a notch. That's what that's kind of a definition of a great player. Somebody that can step it up when it's on the line, right?
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about UConn. UConn in 2010. My favorite NCAA tournament performance of my life is the run that Kemba Walker went on at UConn back then. I mean, it was absurd. Like every single night, and he would take the team and he would put them on his back and he'd carry them to a win. And he did it every single time. I don't remember how many games it was and however many nights, because they had to do the same thing in the Big East tournament just to make it. I just think that, yeah, you have big players and these big name guys, they find levels that they didn't know they had before, because the pressure is just different than what it was in the regular season. And the guys that can dig deep and find that those are the ones that we get these amazing performances from.
All right. So speaking of that, before we move into our second segment break, I want to talk about upsets and long shots in the Sweet 16, because we know they're coming. Keon, we know they're coming. And I know you've had a rough first round, but looking at the bracket as you see it now, Thursday night, North Carolina, Alabama, and then you've got Clemson, Arizona. Then you've got let's see, I'm trying to get to the other Thursday games. Okay, those are the Thursday games. Then you've got Houston, Duke. Then you've got Marquette, NC State on Friday. Both of those are Friday games. Then you've got Purdue, Gonzaga. First of all, Purdue, I don't have going to the Final Four. And I didn't have Gonzaga going this far. Kansas really hurt me here. All right, so Purdue, Kansas. Then you've got Creighton, Tennessee, Friday night games. So now with that in mind, those games in mind, long shots, upsets, who's moving on, who's staying around? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's this is a field that I did not anticipate coming down the stretch. I mean, well, you look at Houston and Duke, starting the South for whatever reason. Houston and Duke, I think that Houston has just been my favorite team to watch all year. Like this is not a knock
Well,
against
they're all
Duke.
men. I mean, they're like all men out there.
Yeah, that helps, right? Like they've recruited guys that are maybe a little bit older, willing to stay in college longer. They're not one and done guys. They stick around at Houston. They play all 4 years, or they've transferred someplace else where they've played 2 or 3 seasons already. And I also just think that Houston plays physical, and that carries well in the NCAA tournament when you're able to set the tone of how the game is played by simply going to the basket, by being the more dominant team, by being aggressive. They're not afraid to force officials to make calls. That's how you win in March. And so I think that Houston's probably going to win that game. NC State and Marquette. I actually have NC State here because I just thought I didn't see NC State making this tournament at all. And then they went on that run. They won the ACC, and it just seemed like they're getting hot at the right time. And I like Marquette, but Marquette does have limitations, and I don't know that if you catch NC State at the level that they're playing right now, I don't know that you beat NC State.
Okay.
And I originally picked Marquette to win that game.
But remember, NC State's at 11.
Yeah, but I don't worry about that, right? Like I'm trying to figure out the team directly in front of them. Can they beat them in a one-off game? And NC State is as hot as a team can be right now. And that's what I'm looking at. They're an 11 because of how they played throughout the year, but they're playing better than that right now. And so, like, I think that team is hot. I think they're really good. They've got a ton of momentum they're carrying forward. All so right. I think that if I had to pick that again, I would pick NC State, honestly. Purdue and Utah State.
I mean, they just thumped Utah State 106-67. I mean, just embarrassed them.
And I thought that Purdue was going to come up short again. I'll be honest with you.
I did too.
They have a track record. They seem to fall apart at the worst times in the tournament. They've been a 1 seed getting knocked out by a 16. They've had every experience that you could possibly have, and maybe that's why they're more prepared this time around to play. It's still a tough Gonzaga team that they've got to beat, but I think that Purdue's guards have shown enough that like you can trust them to support Zach Edey. It doesn't have to be the Zach Edey show every time they go out there and play, and that's going to be huge. Creighton and Tennessee, I don't know why. Maybe it's just the history of Rick Barnes at Tennessee. Maybe it's just that when I look at Tennessee's roster outside of Dalton Connect, I don't really see anybody that scores the basketball consistently. I'm a big fan of Zakiya Ziegler, but he is the most inconsistent scoring point guard in college. And I'm seriously worried about that. Meanwhile, Creighton, one of the handful of teams to beat UConn this year, they shoot the lights out of the gym. So if you're going to shoot the basketball the way Creighton shoots the basketball, hard for me to pick against them.
Creighton's 77 in the first round, 86 in the next game. They face Tennessee on Friday night at 10:09 p.m. on TBS.
Yeah. So I'll probably go in with Creighton in that game. Then we got UNC, Alabama. I'll try and keep this one short. This is actually much further than I thought Alabama was going to go.
You and I both.
They were struggling against Charleston for a little bit, and I felt incredibly right for a while. Before they were able to figure things out and pull it off, and then they were able to outplay GCU at the end to move on to UNC right now. But like they didn't play mistake-free basketball to get here. They were bailed out by a couple of teams who don't have nearly as much tournament experience as them. And so now you're looking at this with UNC. UNC's not going to bail you out.
No,
RJ's not going to bail you out. That guy's going to kill you if you make mistakes. So
Yeah.
I'm taking the Tar Heels. I just don't trust Alabama. I haven't trusted them at any point in this process, and I'm genuinely shocked to see them. I might be wrong, but I doubt it. So Clemson and then Arizona. That game is also one where I'm genuinely surprised at both of the teams here. Arizona, not as much as Clemson, but I am a little surprised about Arizona. I'll be honest.
All right.
They are streaky, both of them, both teams. But
finally in the East, UConn and Iowa State. Or I'm sorry,
UConn and San Diego State. Yeah. It's got to be UConn. Look, San Diego State is a good team, and they do play physical basketball and low scoring games. But what if the game isn't low scoring? What if UConn is able to get out early? I don't think San Diego State has a way to get back in it. If UConn goes on a run at any point in the game, and that's a problem. That's a problem in March.
UConn just seems to be overwhelming.
Yeah, and I just don't know that San Diego State has the tools to pull off the upset for there. And then with Illinois and Iowa State, I originally picked Illinois to win this game, but boy, Iowa State has been really good.
Yeah.
And offensively, they seem to have found another level. And that's crazy because their offense is already really, really damn good.
Well, and their defense seems to be able to stifle any other team that they faced so far. I mean, Iowa State shut down South Dakota. They shut down Washington State with ease, and now they're going to go up against an Illinois team that shoot the hoops out of the basket. So
yeah, I'm still going to lean towards Illinois because I still just think that if you have individual great players in March, if you put that alongside a team that can defend pretty well, I like that. And I think that Terrence Shannon Jr. is just a nightmare for anybody to have to figure out how to stop him. Because I don't know. The guy's a bucket. He's just a walking bucket. So, yeah, I like Illinois in this matchup, just barely. It's a good game. That's honestly, of all of the games coming up, that's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Starts Thursday night here on the big station, and we'll keep you covered wall to wall with all the March Madness news, information, and action. When it starts on Thursday night, the Sweet 16 level starts, goes right through the weekend with the Elite Eight, and then we come out of that with the Final Four and then the Championship Series. We've got it all covered wall to wall for you here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. When we come back, the Suns in action against San Antonio tonight. But how did they fare the last time they met the San Antonio Spurs, and why are they still in San Antonio? What the hell's going on here? Anyway, it's 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
You can live out your master chef dreams when you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
It's March Madness.
And the fairy tale ride continues. You can feel the madness. Oh my goodness. 3-pointer. Good at the buzzer.
March Madness on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is presented by Harmon Solar, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, Bet US, and Platinum Plus Cabaret. Catch all the excitement of the men's NCAA college basketball tournament on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the London Mortgage Team.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she had just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 31st.
Great shopping, a giant crafts market, new shows featuring seafaries, mermaids, and merriment.
Non-stop feasting and more. The Renaissance Festival is back.
Weekends now through March 31st. Discount tickets available at Bashes and Food City or ArizonaRenfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashes, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the six-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender for a Monday, March 25th, as we head for 6 o'clock tonight, a full show tonight and tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Thursday night is the Sweet 16 as March Madness rolls on here on the big station. You can catch it here on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic starting at, I think it's 4 p.m. I believe it's 4 p.m. We'll check that and get with you. But you can catch all the action as it happens here on your home for the March Madness, 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. It's Randy and Keon on the blender. Jeffrey out today. He'll be back Wednesday. We've been talking a lot of March Madness. I want to put sort of a bow on the GCU season. They came into the tournament as a 12 seed. They advanced on. They advanced on out of the first round. And they moved on to face in the second round the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, keep in mind, Grand Canyon was 30-6 in their record from the season. Alabama was 24-11. Now, just for a second, imagine, a couple of baskets this way or the other way, and GCU is moving on to the Sweet 16. The problem was nobody else other than Tyron Grant Foster were able to they were able to contribute. I mean, Gabe McLaughlin, 8 points, Brennan, 8 points, Harrison, 6 points, Moore, 8 points, Blackshear Jr. didn't have a point. It was tough going. But Grand Canyon was able to score 61 points in a hard-fought game. I thought, when I watched it, I thought it was a very well-coached game. I thought it was a very well-played game. I think GCU's got some growing to do. And they went up against a tough Alabama Crimson Tide team who was seeded number 4, and I think correctly so. GCU. Wrapping up their season with a 72-61 loss to Alabama. Really didn't get out of hand until late in the game, right, Keon? I mean, it's not like Alabama just cruised away with this from the beginning. GCU was in the game the whole way through, right?
It came down. It came down to the wire, basically. I mean, the score being 72-61 doesn't, I don't think, give a really good indicator of how close that game was. I mean, obviously, sometimes you get to that point near the end of games where you're a little bit behind and you got to start playing the foul game and all of that. And then the score gap widens. But no, this was a competitive game from start to finish. And I was actually just talking to Radio Ron between the break there that GCU was involved in 2 of the most exciting games we've seen in the tournament this year.
I mean, so.
That round 1 was impressive because the GCU started off playing so well. And then you start to wait for that moment where the team that's the higher seed, that's got all the picks and support and all of that from everybody that watches college basketball and thinks they know what they're talking about. You start to watch that and you want to hold out hope for GCU, but you're waiting for that moment where things start to turn around and the team that is expected to win puts it together and goes, okay, you guys had a good run, time for you to go home. And it never happened with St. Mary's. And with Alabama, unfortunately for GCU, Alabama was able to pull themselves together and make that happen. And I also think that with GCU, they just had a bad shooting night too. Like, Ray,
I mean, you're talking about 12 points here, a 12-point swing, right? 61-70. I'm sorry, 11-point swing right here. And GCU didn't have their best game. I mean, they were 18 of 56 field goal wise. That's only 32%. You got to do better than that.
Yeah, it's the NCAA tournament, and you can't afford to have bad games.
No.
very, very few times can you afford to, make mistakes. Or Ray Harrison, I think, is a really good shooter of the basketball, but he was 0-7 from 3. And a lot of those were open looks. They just didn't go down. And sometimes it's just like that, man. And
it's some nights that you have a cold rim. It's just not going to go in for you. And so GCU, valiant, try at moving on in the NCAA tournament. Now, this is the second round. Last year, they exited in the first round.
This is their first the win over the St. Mary's. That's their first NCAA tournament win ever. That's a big moment. That's huge.
I think we're trending in the right way, right? I mean, I don't have any criticisms on the Antelopes. The way they went through their season, the way they continued to grind and fight, even though they had 6 losses, I think this team is got nothing but high ceilings for them, and a lot of anticipation moving into the 24-25 campaign. So, what do you see for Coach Drew and the Lopes as we move forward here? The next step for this Antelopes team.
I mean, I think obviously your goal is to go further in the tournament. I don't know if Tyon Grant Foster's coming back. I've heard that he is, though, and I think that would be huge. Because you just have a guy that scores like that. It's tough to defend. It's tough to stop him. But yeah, I think that the GCU is obviously going in the right direction. I think Bryce Drew is a tremendous coach, both on and off the court. I think the way his guys respect him and appreciate him is huge. I think the way that he recruits is big time. He also knows how to work the transfer portal in this modern age of college athletics. That is huge. And he was able to get talent from there. Tyon Grant Foster, key part of this team. And Tyon was on the team last year, but he had an injury. He transferred over with the injury, and GCU was patient and waited for a guy they knew was a good player to just get healthy again, and then kind of built the team around him and the unselfishness of all these guys. Guy like Gabe McLaughlin to be a senior, but yeah, you know what? We are going to let Tyon be the guy that carries us. Javon Blackshear Jr. was a bigger part of the team last year, and he took a step back as well. Ray Harrison was the scorer, in big moments, and he allowed himself to have his role reduced so that everybody else could get more. I just like the way that this team is coached. I like the way that they're built, and they are ambitious. Like this is part of their plan. They want to be able to build a premier basketball program here in the Valley, and they are well on their way, in my opinion.
All right, so Moist One has a actually coherent text here at 888-368-1580.
You never can tell with the Moist.
Says free throws killed GCU. I would agree. If you look at the stats, GCU at the charity stripe, they could not score when they had the chance to score free points. And for me, free points are epic in the NCAA tournament. Would you agree or disagree with that, Cam?
It is. There's nothing to disagree with there at all. Because when you have nights where you're just relying on shooting from the field, that is tough. And I thought that GCU, because they were aggressive, because they did go to the basket, they put themselves in a position to win the game despite the fact that they weren't shooting well. Because we said, sometimes those shots don't go down, but free throws have to go down. No one's guarding you. You've got to be able to knock those down. And they didn't. And so that combined with the overall poor shooting night, really didn't help their case against a team as athletic as the Crimson Tide.
That's the thing. When you have a night, and I think I'm like that. Bryce Drew was forcing this team to go inside, take the basketball inside. Your outside shot's not working. It's clanging off the iron. Go inside and force the points. Go inside and draw the fouls. Move the basketball inside. Don't wait for the game to come to you. Go get the game. I like that kind of philosophy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't keep shooting bricks if it's not working. Go to the basket and get those high percentage baskets and try to do something and win this game.
And the thing with Bryce Drew is I know when the Lopes are down at halftime, he's going to come out and do something different. He is big on in-game adjustments, and the games that they have won based on something that Coach Drew's noticed and changed and tweaked. That stuff, it's the most fun thing to watch. Is a coach that's got the high basketball IQ. He's not just, and look, I'm not going to sit here and take shots at John Calipari all day, but I will take one shot, which is that Calipari is a great recruiter. He gets great players, but sometimes the in-game decisions, the in-game adjustments, they're just not there. And you can't say that about GCU. Can't say that.
888-368-1580. Pull the Plug says, ho, hey, yo, mommy, I never gambled. How stupid are baseball fans? Oh, yeah. 4-hour boring as crap games actually make soccer look like sport? Maybe not. I'm not sure what that means, but over the last year, the average baseball game was less than 3 hours. And I'm not sure what you mean here, Pull the Plug, as far as never gambled. That's okay. But how stupid are baseball games? How stupid are baseball fans? Baseball fans, I think, are pretty intelligent. I mean, if you think about the game itself, the strategy, but hey.
And also, the people who like stuff tend to not complain that it takes a while. So you're not being stupid if you genuinely enjoy watching baseball.
If you don't like baseball, Pull the Plug. Don't watch.
The only stupid people watching baseball are people who don't like baseball, but for some reason watch baseball. Who else? If you like it, there's nothing stupid about that.
That doesn't mean that people are stupid because they like a game that you don't like.
We make fun of wrestling on this show a lot, but if you like it, go watch it. Why do you let people tell you what to do?
Ralph has crabs, says. Where's Ralph today? In mourning after Ohtani's news conference? Yeah. He's, I guess, saying that he's never bet on baseball. And, Beer Bob says, did you hear Dodgers Shohei Ohtani statement? I have never bet on baseball, sports, amid Mizahura probe. Also, in an unrelated note, Dodgers have hired Pete Rose as Ohtani's new interpreter in clubhouse. I don't think that's true.
Stop that.
We're going to have to check the sources on that one. Bruno Baller says the Illinois-Iowa State game should be very good. That's at 7 p.m. Thursday night, and it will be live here on the big flamethrower. Well, that's 1 hour in the books, folks. When we come back, it's hour number 2 on this Monday as we move ahead here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house online and owning it, between imagining living there and breathing in your new home for the first time. Having an advocate who can help you navigate the complex world of financing, inspections, negotiating, analyzing the market, and talking through any anxieties that may pop up that can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and bound by a code of ethics, because that's who we are.
It's March Madness.
And the fairy tale ride continues. You can feel the madness. Oh my goodness. 3-pointer. Good at the buzzer.
March Madness on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is presented by Harmon Solar, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, Bet US, and Platinum Plus Cabaret. Catch all the excitement of the men's NCAA college basketball tournament on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When you wake up well-rested on a great mattress, everything becomes clear.
My life coach has a terrible life.
Things you missed when you were tired finally reveal themselves.
I use memes as a coping mechanism.
At Mattress Firm, we know the right mattress matters. While supplies last, save up to 50% on select Tempur-Adapt floor models. All with free and fast delivery. The right mattress matters. We'll find yours. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's not just a job. It's shaping the heart of our city. The City of Chandler's Public Works and Utilities Department is the driving force behind our city's success. We invest in you with continued training, benefits, and a supportive team environment where career advancement is in your future. Learn more at jointeamchandler.com. Be a part of something bigger. This message is sponsored by the City of Chandler.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah.
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
Almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep.
iTunes?
Yep. Just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Monday, March 25th here. It's the 4 o'clock hour on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale. My name is Randy White. Right over there, that's the sexiest man in sports talk radio. That's Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien out today. He'll be back on Wednesday, and you are texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580. We've got many texts coming in. Like this from Mars Bars 805 says, happy Marley Monday, guys. 13th place here in the March Madness contest so far. I'll take an 805, Randy, and let's go. I can't. I don't want to. I can't. I'm sorry.
And you don't have to.
I don't want to. It's a Southern California NBA team. That's all I'm going to say.
I hear you.
I can't. I could play the song. I mean, I could play that one. Triple 888-368-1580. As we are trekking through till 6 o'clock tonight, Thursday night, the Sweet 16 round of the March Madness continues here. And did you hear that Keon and Ralph are going to be out on Radio Row on in April? Oh my God, we're out there
Radio Ron confirming today on the big broadcast that from Radio Row, Ralph and Keon on site at the Phoenix Convention Center Friday, April 5th, part of their Final Four fan experience activities in downtown. Can't imagine what's going to happen out there, especially if the fourth dimension needs to show up in force. If you've ever wanted to talk to Ralph Romano face to face in person, you should definitely try to go out there and see him at Radio Row. I don't think you'll get in. I don't think there's any way security's going to let you in, but I mean, and then I understand that there's a dunk off challenge between Keon and Ralph. It's it's sort of quick forming here. The news is coming in late to me here at the radio station, but I understand there's going to be a dunk off.
Well, we'll see. I mean, my knees have been a problem, so we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. I promise nothing's going to look good. I mean,
can you imagine you two?
No.
Can we bring the rim down to 5 feet?
I mean, maybe more.
Look, brother, I got nothing on you. I can't even jump. I mean,
vertical's been gone for a long time. Man. It's been gone for a very long time.
888-368-1580. Suns in action tonight in San Antonio versus the San Antonio Spurs, who have a robust 15-56 record. Suns thumped them Saturday night, 131-106, and then enjoyed a wonderful weekend in the pleasant San Antonio area. Keon, you could speak to San Antonio. I mean, sure, you've been there. I've been there. There's so much to do. There's the River Walk. There's Six Flags over something.
Yeah, over Texas.
And then there's some military bases. And then there's, let's see, there's some tumbleweeds.
A lot of restaurants.
Well, many restaurants. 4 high rises, I think, maybe 4.
There's more than that.
3 or 4 high rises.
There's a few.
Pretty sure 3 or 4.
I went back to visit my brother who was just moving out of there. I did not recognize the city. It's huge now. It's
a lot
gigantic.
of warehouses, a lot of vacant warehouses and apartment buildings. Sort of a transient town, but son stayed there over the weekend. I'm sure at one of their luxurious resorts. How did the NBA schedulers? I won't go there first. First of all, Friday night, Book Durant crushed San Antonio. Durant had 25, Book had 32, Beal had 13, Bol had 13 points, meaning he was playing that kid. What's his name? Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Bol working on Wembanyama, just wearing him down. Had 4 rebounds, an assist, and 13 points. Eric Gordon put up 12. I already told you about Bradley Beal with 13.
And then Beal also had the 12 assists. Little point guard action for Bradley Beal.
How about that? How about that? That's what we've been saying, I think. Yusuf Nurkic was ineffective, I think, against Wembanyama. Who's effective against Wembanyama?
Almost nobody. And he's not. I mean, when Victor Wembanyama realizes his potential, we're in trouble. And by we, I just mean the rest of the NBA. We're in trouble.
All you can do is shoot outside on this guy. He's 37 feet tall. He's got a 97-foot wingspan. The guy is incredible. He's dunking from the foul line, and he doesn't even have to jump. But anyway, Suns victorious, dominating the game from the get-go. put up 26 in the first, almost 40, at 39 in the second, 38 in the third, 28 in the fourth, 131-106 final score. Really, San Antonio not a factor, but Wembanyama had 13 points in this game. Suns handled him pretty easily. They let some other superstars of San Antonio in the game, like Blake Wesley, who he had 12 points. Sandro Mamukelashvili, he had 11.
Yeah, that guy's way at the end of the bench.
Superstars.
That is that's a garbage time. 8 minutes. 8 minutes of play got him 11 points, which is nice.
Victor had 13, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 21 minutes played. Let's see, another superstar. Keldon Johnson, 14 points. The only name I understand, Trey Jones had 10 points in the game. Suns just absolutely shutting down San Antonio. These are the games that Phoenix needs to dominate. Come on. I mean, Phoenix shooting almost 60% field goal percentage, 11 of 24 from three-point land. Free throws, they shot 80%, 8 of 10. They took care of the total rebounds, out-rebounding San Antonio 39-34. On the defensive side of the basketball, the Suns dominated 32-26 rebounds, and turnovers, only gave the ball up 8 times. You see what I'm saying? When Phoenix doesn't turn the ball over, this is kind of action I think we get. When Phoenix gets into a rhythm and they don't turn the basketball over, they don't try to be too cutesy with the basketball, this is what happens. Now, Phoenix is again back in San Antonio tonight. How this happened, I don't know. How this happened, I don't understand. Why do they get to play a Saturday night and then again on Monday night in San Antonio is beyond me. But I will tell you that Phoenix will play in San Antonio tonight. Then they will move on to Denver, where they'll take on the Nuggets. Then Oklahoma City, where they'll take on the Thunder. Then to New Orleans, take on the Pelicans before they come home. So here's what the Suns have been doing is since they had 2 home games against the 76ers and against the Hawks. They left, went to San Antonio, 131-106. They win. They're still in San Antonio. They go to Denver. They go to Oklahoma City. They go to New Orleans. Then they come home and take on a hot Cavaliers team. They're at home against the Timberwolves on Friday, April 5th. They're at home against New Orleans April 7th. They're at home against the Clippers the 9th. The 10th, the next night, they're in Los Angeles taking on the Clippers. They're on the road against the Kings and the Timberwolves. That's the rest of the season. So they've got, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11 games left. 11 games left, and they're currently in the 6th spot, which is not a play-in spot, is it? That's not a play-in spot, is it?
It's not. Which is why when they got to 7, and we're kind of hovering around there, and everybody was panicking. It's like it's a half game in every direction. Just keep winning. Just win as many games.
That's what they've got to do, and they've got and they have to beat the Kings too.
Yeah, which is a tough team, but they've played the Kings pretty well this season.
So the Suns currently in 6th place in the West. They've won 3 in a row. They'll take on San Antonio tonight, who is in a midst of a 3-game losing streak. Sorry. And then they go to Denver, who's currently in 1st in the midst of their own 3-game winning streak. They take the Thunder on, who have a losing streak right now, and the Clippers, who are kind of falling apart. I mean,
yeah, Ty Lue's trying to figure out how to make it get back on track. I don't think he can really.
I don't want to talk about games ahead. I want to talk about tonight's game, but I mean, let's think about it. I mean, the Suns need to win, right? They've got the Pelicans, the Clippers, the Timberwolves, the Nuggets, and the Thunder, all teams that are ahead of them in their upcoming 11 games remaining.
I think it's important that not just that they win. I think that, but you don't want to show everything either. So there's a balance that you have to have there. But yeah, you've got to beat some of these teams, if for no other reason than to continue to make sure that you're not in that playoff group. And also, if you can make up some ground, if you can get a higher seed, try and get yourself a better matchup in the first round, do that. That's even better. It's just the West is so loaded. You're not going to get very many opportunities to move up like this unless you're beating some of these teams head to head.
We're 2 games behind the Pelicans. We're 2.5 games behind the Clippers.
And the Pelicans are playing well. The Clippers aren't. So that would be, to me, the goal would be catch LA. The Clips, not.
And we're 7 games behind the Timberwolves. We're 7.5 behind the Thunder. And we are 8 games behind the Nuggets, currently in first place in the Western Conference.
Who saw that coming?
Meanwhile, Lakers are 11 games out, and they're in the 9 spot right now. Lakers have won 3 in a row. I mean, come on.
Yeah, look.
Everybody was raving this morning when I woke up and I turned on the highlights and I started checking my phone. Lakers scoring franchise high 150 points. Yeah, but they only won by 5 points over the Pacers.
Well, it's a good Pacers team. To be fair to the Lakers, not that anybody necessarily has to. It is a good Pacers team. But I don't know. The next handful of games, I think, are going to be telling because they've got the Pacers again Friday, and then more sooner than that, they've got the Bucks on Tuesday. So I'm interested in what that looks like.
Well, they have the Bucks tomorrow night. Talking about the Lakers here,
mm-hmm.
They have the Grizzlies Wednesday, and they've got the Pacers on Friday. It's going to be a tough week for them. And there are reports from opposing coaches. The Lakers are getting all sorts of calls that their teams are not getting. I mean, they're in 9th, and the headline from CNN is Lakers post highest point total since 1987. Give me a break. They're not even in the play-ins. I mean, they're barely in a play-in spot.
Yeah, and they're ahead of the Warriors, who are bad. I just don't pay that stuff a whole lot of attention. I don't pay it much mind because it's the national media, and they know what sells. They know that the Lakers are a big name, a big brand, a large fan base. So yeah, go out and talk about how good the Lakers are. Why? Because people will click on it, and that's really what their main goal is. And I'm not gonna knock them for trying to make more money, because when playoff time rolls around and we start talking about the actual teams that can contend, I feel pretty good. The Lakers are not on that list of teams.
According to Lakers Nation on the X 20 minutes ago, LeBron James doubtful against the Bucks. What?
Yeah, I mean, LeBron's been dealing with nagging stuff, though. He's been playing through most of it. It's just LeBron should not, at this stage in his career, LeBron should not be playing the minutes that he's playing. He was supposed to hand the torch off to Anthony Davis, and it never happened. Anthony Davis is just not mentally, whatever it is to be that alpha guy that takes over games. Anthony Davis is just not wired like that.
I will tell you this. I am surprised Anthony Davis has been as healthy as he has been this season. I will say that.
Yeah, got to give him credit there.
I have to give him respect and credit there, because Anthony Davis has been he has been reliable this season. But I mean, I mean, I don't know. The Lakers aren't not good. I'm not going to go there because I know Ralph. Ralph is a friend of mine, and I know he is. Let's just go back to the Suns. Suns are in San Antonio tonight. I don't know if Wembanyama's going to play. He's got a sprained ankle. The last thing that I saw here, is he going to miss tonight? Is that the final word? He might miss tonight, or is he definitely going to miss tonight?
The last I saw, it sounded like definitely going to miss tonight.
I mean, why would you play the kid if he's got a sprained ankle and you're not in any position to do anything, right? I mean,
you're a 15-win basketball team in March. Yeah, it's your season is done. And if he's got any injuries, he should be fully healthy before you put him back out on the floor.
Absolutely. The kid's young, and he's going to be he's going to be able to rebound from this. So I think that's a good move on Pop's part and the Spurs part. So his Suns in action again tonight against the Spurs. Remember what they did to the Spurs here just Saturday. 131-106. Wembanyama out now. So take him out of the lineup, and we'll see what the Suns can do. Do the Suns need to be mindful of minutes played for Durant, Booker, and Beal as they move forward here?
I think to a degree, but I still think those guys would benefit from more time on the floor together. Like every minute that they play together matters just for the amount of time that they've been together. You know, they have not played nearly enough games. They've played a lot, but they could still play some more. And you're playing against other teams in the Western Conference that they've had their core and nucleus of guys for much longer. You know, Dallas has, the Pelicans have, the Kings have. So you're playing a little catch up with that. And the growing pains of that, we've seen it. We've been frustrated by it as fans watching them play. But the fact is, the only thing that can solve that problem is more time playing together. If there are injuries, if Beal's got an ankle or a wrist or a knee, or Booker or Durant or whoever, I don't push it. You need them more for the playoffs than you need them here. But if that's a clean bill of health, play them. Play them as many minutes as you can get away with.
Text line is buzzing along here. Rico Suave says, A, what off? What? A, what off? A, what off?
Do you mean what up? Because I don't know.
A, what off?
The sky?
What off?
I don't know if the what off is ever going to catch on as a greeting.
Try to hit me again with another one. Beer Bob says, wait, Ralph going to be live at Radio Row. What kind of fan experience is Radio Ron trying to give the fans? A bad one? Oh, no, I don't know.
But Ralph's been cool every time we've gone to a remote. Ralph's cool in person.
Ralph is cool. Yeah, he's pretty cool. I mean, he's sort of a pain in your side with his Dodger and Seahawk business, but listen, and his Laker business. But
Ralph will razz you.
Genuinely cool dude.
But the reason why Ralph is cool is because Ralph dishes it, but he can take it. If you razz him, if you get on him about the Lakers or whatever, he rolls with it. It's all fun.
Let's see. Hefty Lefty says same thing happened to the Lakers this year. 2 games at Spurs with 1 day apart.
And actually, the Suns earlier in the year, it wasn't 1 day, but it was they played the 31st of October and then like the 2nd of November. So earlier in the year when they played the Spurs, it was a similar. We played them and then you just kind of hung out.
You mean
in San Antonio?
I think San Antonio again. So 4 games against San Antonio.
No, it was here in Phoenix, but it was a similar short turnaround. You play them and then you play them again.
Well, I don't mind the quick turnaround. It just seems like it should be home and away. I mean,
yeah, it's just a travel thing generally because all these teams have to work around each other and then whatever events are happening in their stadiums at different times. And like I know the Spurs, I don't know if they've done it recently or they're about to do it, but they have their rodeo road trip where the rodeo comes into town. They use the AT&T Center. So the Spurs do a big road trip at that point because their building's being used. So like that's the
I
stuff
don't know
that
if
they've
it's
gotta-
that one. My daughter-in-law usually goes. One of the, they live, but see, they live closer to Dallas. I don't know.
It
if
might
it's
be
the
the
San
Dallas.
Antonio
It
Rodeo,
might be the Dallas rodeo.
but
yeah.
anyway,
The Dallas one's
Donnie,
nicer too.
Donnie says seems like a collision course with a Suns/Wolves first round matchup. Imagine the trolling that week. Yeah, I can imagine,
Yeah,
Donnie.
we can't imagine. It would be a fun matchup though.
Yeah,
I like the Wolves. They're good.
Then Rico Suave. Rico Suave clears it up. Yeah. What up? LOL. What up with you, Rico Suave? All right. We've talked some Suns. We've got a lot more to talk about. Is Golden State throwing in the towel? We'll talk about it next here on the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Minimum purchase required. Interest accrues from date of purchase, but is waived if paid within promotional period. Go to windowappointmentnow.com for full offer details. Attention homeowners. Do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? Fog between the glass? Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's time to replace. And right now you can get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen. Plus with our March 31-day sales event, you can save $377 off every window and $777 off every door when you buy 4 or more units. Just text MAKE to 200-300 for your free consultation on top quality affordable windows or patio doors for no dollars down, no monthly payments, and no interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Text MAKE to 200-300 to save $377 off every window and $777 off every door when you buy 4 or more units. Hurry, this incredible 31-day sales offer is only in March. Text MAKE to 200-300. Text the word MAKE to 200-300. MAKE to 200-300.
At BetUS.com, why do we care about a college basketball tournament every March, where bets mean everything? Because it's March Mania, where glory triumphs and anything can happen, where underdogs can make or break our hearts. Because it's March Mania, where brackets are broken and buzzers are beaten. And there's always been a sportsbook there for you and your best buds. Because it's March Mania. BetUS has been with you through 30 Marches together. And like any good six-man, we've always had your back. And because it's March, BetUS.com is matching the mania with a mad offer. Back, 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And the extra confidence that comes from a 10% gambler's insurance. Because anything can happen during March Mania. BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, where the game begins. Get started today.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here, host of You Better You Bet, reminding you to check out the show. Now, why should you check out You Better You Bet? Because we bring you the most fun, we bring you the most insightful, the most entertaining show in the wagertainment world. From up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come alongside them. Plus, you'll get the best betting analysis anywhere from myself, Ken Barkley, and some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. So tune in weekdays, noon to 3 on Arizona sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Coming up later on this edition of the Daily Blender, Keon Rose has got a mock draft for us. A lot of activity out of Orlando today by the ownership groups and the GMs. The NFL meetings going on in Orlando. And is some speculation about what teams will do. We'll find out what Keon thinks. Last night, Golden State Warriors were in action, and Golden State dangerously close to falling out of a play-in tournament. And Steve Kerr is keeping Steph Curry glued to the bench for more than 9 straight minutes last night down the stretch of a tight game against the league's best defense. So is Steve Kerr trying to say that Steve Curry that burns the colon all the way. Anyway, is Steve Kerr trying to suggest maybe this team is done? They can't match up against some of these younger teams, or is he trying to get rest where he can get rest for some of his older guys like Steph?
I think it's the second one. I think he's trying to get rest. He's looking at LeBron, and the way that he is being used in LA, where LeBron is just playing 38 minutes a night, and the guy is late in his career. He is,
but
possibly,
I mean, LeBron's maybe a bit of a science freak here.
Yeah, like LeBron is one of the freakiest athletes we've ever seen. But like I think that's more to the point, is that LeBron's doing that. Is it fair to ask Steph to do that? You know, Steve Kerr said in the press conference afterwards, when Steph just played 30 minutes, he said Steph's been playing 35, 40 minutes a night for us for 15 years. Can we ask him to keep doing that? Because at some point his body is going to break down. He already had the ankle scare earlier in the year, where he had to miss 7 to 10 days of basketball just because his body was put out at risk, essentially. I don't think that he's throwing in the towel, but I also think that by playing Steph less, the Warriors have kind of gone in on their young guys. That's where they're trying to turn next, to try and have somebody else get the torch from Steph to carry on winning in Golden State. And I think that they like Jonathan Kuminga for that. And Kuminga's been really good. But Kuminga's still got a lot of growing to do. He's never been one of the most important players on the team before. And it's him and Steph. Like, those are the two guys that I think if they don't have good nights scoring the basketball, I don't give the Warriors much of a chance to do anything. So they're looking for some of these young guys to step up while they reduce Steph's role, because you can't play basketball at the level that Steph. I mean, Steph runs so much during the course of a game. When he doesn't have the ball, and I actually told my little cousin this, because she likes basketball, and so I was like, hey, you want to watch this Steph Curry, and don't watch him when he has the ball. Watch him when he doesn't have it. Watch what he does, and he's running through screens. You can't ask somebody to do that every single night. And if they're going to go on a playoff run, they're going to need Steph, and they're going to need him to be rested as much as they can get him.
Warriors lose by 4 last night at Minnesota. They feel like they played Steph a lot of minutes, and they're trying to give him some rest, according to Curry. So we will wait and see. We will wait and see if this strategy works out for Golden State, the 5-time champs, right? They're 5-time, 4-time champs. Anyway, does it matter? Really? So out of
it's 4.
out of the news today, we were talking earlier in the show about Shohei Ohtani and this. I don't know if it's scandal. I can't. Can you call it a scandal? I mean, I could call it a scandal.
It is a scandal. If any of it is true, it's absolutely a scandal.
But in case you don't know, Shohei Ohtani's interpreter was fired by the Dodgers last week because of allegations that he had placed illegal bets on a non-baseball sports, and Ohtani's bank account was used to pay illegal bookmakers, millions of dollars, over $4 million. During his press conference today, Ohtani said he's never bet on baseball or any other sport, and that Mizahura stole from his bank account. This comes after Ohtani's lawyers last week said he was a victim of a, quote, massive theft. All right, I'll talk about that in a second. Here's part of the statement that Ohtani said today. First of all, quote, I wanted to be here to be able to talk. I'm sure it was a tough week for fans and the organization. On a personal note, I'm very saddened and shocked that someone I trusted has done this. Obviously, today, there are things that I'm limited to talk about. I do have a document in front of me that will detail what has happened. First, I've never bet on baseball or any other sport. I've never asked nobody to do that on my behalf. I have never gone through a bookmaker to bet on sports. Up until a couple of days ago, I didn't know this was happening. Just to go over the result, Ipe has been stealing money from my account and has told lies. At the first time I knew about this gambling, Ipe's gambling, was after the first game in Korea when we had the team meeting in the clubhouse. During the team meeting, Ipe was speaking in English, and I didn't have a translator at my side. But even with that, I started to feel there was something amiss. Obviously, I never agreed to pay off the debt or make payments to the bookmaker. And finally, when we went to the hotel and talked one-to-one, that was when I found out he has a massive debt. And it was revealed during the meeting that Ipe admitted he was sending money using my account to the bookmaker. End quote. All right, A, he's saying all the right things. B, I'm not convicting him of placing bets. C, how do you not know somebody is into your bank account for several $1 million, Keon? This is not $1,000. This is not $2,000. This is $4 million plus dollars. How do you not know that?
I think it could be pretty easy if you gave this person sort of the green light to buy you whatever, pick up whatever you think is necessary. Gave him the card essentially, and just said, hey, look, if it's something I need, you don't have to call me, just go get it. At a certain level of money, do you check your bank account every day? I have to, but that's because, I live in a world where overdraft fees might happen to me. Shohei does not live in that world. So is it possible that Shohei didn't check, just assumed everything was above board and on the up and up? Yeah, it's possible. I mean, I don't know that would happen to me, but I don't know because I've never been in that situation where I've trusted
just curious how many people out there, whether I don't care about your bank account, but how many people out there, you might have $1 million in your bank account, you might have, $1 in your bank account. How many people are not checking their bank account regularly to make sure everything is cool? I mean, we're talking about identity. We live in a time of identity theft. We live in a time where people are able to hack into banks. We live in a time where there are banking errors. I mean, Chase Bank just, how many years ago? It was a huge accounting error that they were accountable for millions and millions of dollars. And you mean to tell me a guy is just going to turn his card over to his translator and say, hey, if I need a new, car, just go get it for me.
Look, I'm not saying that I understand it fully, just that it's possible. And that's the reason why I'm trying to withhold my judgment there. I don't think it's impossible. And I do think that even though banking is not great, Shohei is Japanese. Is Japanese banking generally better, safer? Because if you're not making those kinds of assumptions, then maybe you don't check.
Baseball's got a real problem, in my opinion. This is my opinion. Baseball's got a real problem because Shohei Ohtani just had $4.5 million taken out of his bank account, and he's claiming he did not know about it. And in a time where baseball players are catered to and they have all sorts of people around them, I want to believe the best in Shohei Ohtani. I want to believe the kid is innocent, and this is but it seems there's something wrong here.
It does,
in my opinion.
It does seem off. I'm just offering possible reasons why that maybe he's telling the truth. And it seems plausible right now that the truth happened. Or what he's saying is the truth happened rather. So I don't know, because I don't know how baseball guys roll. I do know in basketball circles, like when you look at a lot of guys that have lost money, they try to keep their circle of guys tight. You know what I mean? But you trust somebody with the finances, and sometimes the guy you trust with the finances rips you off.
But don't you think these guys have the team set up financial guys for these players? I mean, the agents set up financial guys for these players. Clearly, the agent for Ohtani doesn't want his money just kind of out there, willy-nilly being spent by some, a guy they can't confirm. And his resume for the translator was full of holes. I was reading an article on CBS News or CBS Sports that that this guy's the interpreter's resume was full of holes. Nobody properly vetted him. Not the Dodgers, not Shohei Ohtani, and not Shohei's manager. I mean, good night, a living. This guy's making $750 million, and you mean to tell me that the interpreters just got free reign on his bank account?
If he allowed him to have it, and again, it might just be naive on Shohei's part, and that's the reason why I'm inclined to believe him. By the way, is that this interpreter does not appear to be someone who was properly vetted. So, is it possible you let somebody who's far less than trustworthy in your circle, if you don't vet him properly? Yeah. We're not dealing with somebody that's a good person. So I tend to believe that many mistakes were made along the way here, and that set Shohei up to either be involved in something very stupid or to be taken of advantage by somebody in a very stupid way. And it sucks. Either way, neither option is good.
J-Rod says, when you see it, you see the truth. I don't know what that means.
I don't know either. And I don't know anything. And if we're going to do this for every other kind of allegation out there, then let's be consistent. I don't know what Shohei Ohtani did and did not do. I don't know what he did and didn't know, or when he knew it. I don't know, exactly what kind of person Shohei is. There are some people who've got more street smarts than other people. Is Shohei one of those people, or, is he somebody that can be taken advantage of pretty easily? I don't know any of these things, so I can't tell you whether or not the guy's telling the truth.
Moist one with another coherent text. Oprah says she checks her bank's accounts twice a day. So I do too. But she also said she lost weight with Weight Watchers, so can't really say she's telling the truth. Well, I mean,
yeah, but I think about Oprah's journey though. Oprah had no money at one point in her life. Of course, you check your bank account every day. If you had no money, even having a lot of money doesn't mean you forget when it wasn't there. I don't know what the deal is with Shohei on that one. Did Shohei grow up with, good means? Because he might not have learned to be properly paranoid in that department.
Rico Suave says he said he's never asked nobody, which means he asked somebody.
Okay, well,
he has accounts.
English is not his first language, and I have used double negatives for emphasis also. So no, I'm not gonna gotcha Shohei on a technicality. Doesn't seem fair.
Okay. All right. So J-Rod says, sorry, guys, I posted a picture with Ohtani standing next to Mookie Betts, and when you read their jerseys, it says Ohtani Betts.
Oh, no. That joke's going to be here all summer, isn't it?
Ohtani Betts.
Oh, boy. It's pretty funny, though.
Rico Suave says he has proofreaders. He has accountants. He's a billionaire. Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah. The question is, did he trust other people with his money and to keep track of his money, or did he do it at any point in this process? Because if he did it at any point in this process, then he might have noticed the $4.5 million that was migrating from his account. Maybe.
So Mr. Wilbur says this Dodger thing is similar to when Jeffrey checked out Randy's credentials, found out later that Randy likes to use swear words like a truck driver. Obviously, something is a little bit deeper than we all see on the surface, and it will come out. Wow. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the depth of this is, but I'll tell you what. Baseball's going to cover this up. This is going to be covered up. I'm telling you right now. Baseball will figure out how to cover this up. They cannot afford to have their number one star, Shohei Ohtani. And if you don't think he's the biggest star in baseball, you're wrong. Because every time you turn on a TV, you can't go one broadcast on one even local baseball game and not hear Shohei Ohtani. It doesn't matter if it's a Braves game, a Yankees game, a Red Sox game, a Marlins game. I don't care who you watch, because I've watched a lot of spring training. And every time I get on a game and I'm just watching some baseball, somebody's got to talk about Shohei Ohtani. So you can bet your bottom dollar Shohei Ohtani and this scandal is going to be swept under the rug. If you think Deshaun Watson can get in the NFL after assaulting how many people? 21 women? You think this is going to stop Shohei Ohtani from continuing to be the number one star in MLB? Got another thing coming. The Dodgers and Major League Baseball will make sure this thing goes away as soon as it can. Do you think Shohei Ohtani put those thoughts to paper? Hell no, he didn't. That wasn't Shohei Ohtani. Tell you who that was. That was the Dodgers, and that was Shohei's people. And if you think I'm wrong, just watch and see. Shohei didn't sit in his, hotel room and come up with these things to say.
Well,
that's just my take.
That's the issue with it, is that if he's not telling the truth, we may never know. That's the problem that I know that baseball's not going to be transparent about this. Rob Manfred's not going to. That's not his history. That's like nothing he's done since he's been commissioner of this league.
Oh,
is
Rob
handle
Manfred,
things
he's
transparently.
He's sucking down martinis like they're going out of style here. Come on.
I can't think of a worse commissioner for the types of scandals that have come across his desk as commissioner of Major League Baseball. I literally cannot think of a worse guy to handle.
I mean, this is completely crazy.
I mean, this is the same dude that let the Astros players off the hook.
Yeah.
No punishment.
Obviously, we're concerned. He was immediately isolated to prevent spread.
Yeah, here you go. Here's your commander in chief right there.
So the guy had the Astros basically dead to rights. Okay. And then he let them all off scot-free.
Let them off the hook.
I understand a reduced punishment. I understand a lessened punishment. No punishment. So no, we're not exactly dealing with somebody who cares about enforcing the rules of baseball.
I mean, I don't know what to say. And I hate this. I hate it. I hate it. I wish I hope that it comes out to be true, but I can guarantee you there's a lot of stuff going on in the background here to cover this up, because baseball right now and old drunky drunk in Manhattan, they're all sucking down martinis like, oh my God, what do we do now? Anyway, we got a lot of text on the text line at 888-368-1580. We'll continue to talk about this and also the Pac-12 since basketball season wrapping up, baseball season wrapping up soon. The Pac-12 soon to be in the dust and forgotten. So how does Oregon State and Washington State, how do they fare? We'll find out as we continue on with the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Oh, this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
No, I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's March Madness.
And the fairy tale ride continues. You can feel the madness. Oh my goodness. 3-pointer. Good at the buzzer.
March Madness on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is presented by Harmon Solar, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, Bet US, and Platinum Plus Cabaret. Catch all the excitement of the men's NCAA college basketball tournament on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It seems like everybody's talking about the traffic on Valley Roads these days. You know what else everybody's talking about? The absolute best restaurant to take your family and friends to, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. Now with 2 Valley locations locations. No one does it better than Kasai, where talented Teppanyaki chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse is dinnertainment at its best, where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for any occasion. Choose from over 50 different items and combinations of teppanyaki. Looking for great dining without the show? Kasai offers an awesome selection on Asian-inspired dishes and tasty sushi. Happy hour deals daily from 6 p.m. and enjoy outdoor dining on the heated patio. So whether you're here for spring training, March Madness, or just to enjoy the Arizona sunshine, don't just take your guests to dinner. You take them to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse with 2 locations, Scottsdale and now in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppen.com. That's Kasai Teppen.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
This is Brian Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic.
Daily Blender on this Monday, March 25th, as we are in the second hour heading for 6 o'clock tonight. Jeffrey O'Brien out today, be back Wednesday. Don't forget the Sweet 16 will be on the big station beginning Thursday, then Friday. Then it's the Elite Eight on Saturday and Sunday. Then it's the Final Four. Then it's the championship game. Oh, my God. There's a lot of NCAA madness going on here. Speaking of NCAA madness, Big George, who's in the top 10, I understand, of the Harmon Solar 1580 The Fanatic Bracket Challenge, checks in on the text line at 888-368-1580. Hello, gentlemen. Happy Monday. Wow. I'm surprised the show is back. I thought it got canceled after last week's shenanigans. As far as the Shohei Ohtani goes, I don't believe a word he says. I definitely noticed $5 million exiting my bank account if I were him. See, I mean, and I'm not saying there's shenanigans going on, to use your word, Big George, if I may. I'm not saying there's shenanigans going on with Shohei. Maybe he didn't understand. Maybe there was something lost. And maybe this cat, his translator, was just a bad dude who was taking advantage of him. I can see that happen.
And I also don't think that if this guy took money, I don't think he took all $4.5 million in that one moment.
Well, I mean, maybe, maybe not. I'm just saying, but don't tell me you are Shohei Ohtani and you don't realize with the kind of people that are going to be surrounding him, his agent, I'm sure he's got accountants. Come on. Shohei's not doing his own taxes on H&R Block online. Give me a break. He's got guys doing his taxes. He's got financial advisors lined up outside of his door. Give me a break. Somebody's telling him what's going on.
Maybe. I'm just saying, if you poorly vetted one guy who stole $4.5 million from you, did you vet everybody else well?
Well, look,
do the financial guys there, are they good at their jobs? Would they notice if someone was siphoning a little bit of money, just taking a little bit? I'm sure they could know if they were good at it.
There's all sorts of conspiracy theories. But we're talking about the darling of the major league. We're talking about the guy, the face of Major League Baseball. And it's no lie. Everybody will tell you, Shohei Ohtani. He's like a world-renowned name now. Everywhere the guy goes, he's noticed and he's known because of baseball. This is a coup for baseball. Remember, baseball, a distant third behind, football and then basketball. Then you got baseball way out there somewhere within shouting distance somewhere. And this is a coup for baseball to have Shohei Ohtani. This is why the guy is on every sports broadcast. It doesn't matter if it's ESPN, Fox, CBS. It doesn't matter. He's on everything. His picture is everywhere. Suffice it to say, I would say he's bigger than Taylor Swift in the baseball circles.
Well, yeah.
Jet says on the text line, which is a good point, by the way, Jet. Thank you. 888-368-1580. Jet says, if it was any other player in the league, they'd be sent home right now pending an investigation. But since he is the new face of the MLB, he'll get off with just a little wrist slap.
I sure wish we had the reins that the Dodgers have.
And this is also important, I think, with Shohei, is he's in a league right now that is pretty big partners with some betting companies, some sports betting companies.
Oh my God, yeah.
The idea that you have to have a negative news story that's going to circulate for days and days on end that is about Major League Baseball and betting, which of all the major professional sports, Major League Baseball has the worst history with betting. This is not something Major League Baseball and their betting partners want to have to talk about. So the story is going to be buried extra quickly, not just to protect Shohei, but I think just to protect the image of Major League Baseball itself.
There it is. That's the bottom line, to protect baseball. To protect baseball, not to protect Shohei Ohtani. Jet continues on the text line at 888-368-1580. With my businesses, I move large amounts of money around regularly. I have a full-time CPA that she is always busy, and she will notice when something is off by as little as $100. At that point, she'll be in my back pocket and making sure the numbers are correct. He or his team knew that was going on, and nothing was reported until it was time to pay the piper. That's a good point.
Yeah, but we also know we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, who had a guy recently steal money from them as the guy that was capable of letting the team know that there was money missing. It made it easier for him. So I don't know what leeway Ohtani gave this guy with the money. You know, if he gave him if he said, look, green light, you go get what you think we need. Because it sounds like he really trusted the guy. That I believe 100%. I think he really did trust that guy.
I mean, maybe he did. Maybe he's Ohtani's guy from way back. You know, maybe he's a friend of Ohtani's. I don't know the background of this guy. I know he wasn't properly vetted by the Dodgers. I know he wasn't properly vetted by the agent. So he must have had an in with Shohei somehow. I could just figure that out just sitting here, and I'm just a stupid radio talk show guy. I mean, I can figure that much out. Shohei apparently had some sort of relationship with this cat moving in. It wasn't like he was just one day, he's coming to the Angels, so we're going to get him a translator. And now after a couple of years with the Angels, and he comes over, now we're best friends. Now, come on. This guy had a connection with Shohei, or he wouldn't have trusted him with his bank account. Come on.
Yeah, and so Shohei sounded betrayed. I mean, I don't know how much of that I'm just reading into what he said, but I don't think it's fair to judge the guy. I just don't know enough about Shohei. Like, that's the big problem I'm having with this. Is I don't know anything. You know, he could just be that naive. Those people exist on this planet. Those are the people that usually get conned. And if he got conned, I mean, look, you're surrounded by lots of people. That doesn't mean that stuff doesn't get through the gaps. I just don't know. And I think that's where I'm choosing to sit on it. I just don't know. And anybody jumping to the conclusion that they're absolutely certain Shohei is lying because if it were you, it's not you. It's not you. It's a different guy. He's coming from a different situation entirely.
I hope it doesn't sound like I'm saying the guy's lying. I'm just saying there's too many holes in the net here.
I was responding more to Big George, who said he didn't believe him at all. You're just like, well, hold on. You don't know anything about the guy. There are a lot of holes, but I've watched enough sports for long enough, and I'm sure that everyone listening to this has, where guys have been ripped off by people they trusted, and they didn't notice the money was gone.
Quote, obviously it was an absurd thing that was happening. I contacted my representatives at that point, end quote. And I was finally able to talk to my representatives. That's when my representatives found out Ipe had been lying the whole time. And that's when I contacted the Dodgers and my lawyers, end quote. There's still more to come on this whole thing. And I'm sure it will flesh out over the next several days as we get into the baseball season. It's too bad. I hate to see it. I mean, I think Shohei is a good dude. I think he means well, and I think he's out there having fun. But look, I mean, there's alligators out there everywhere, and they'll take your arm right off. And I think that's what happened. All right, hour 2 in the books. Daily Blender with hour 3 right around the corner here on 1580 The Fanatic.
And scrub, but the soap scum in my bathtub is still there.
I spray and scrub, but the burnt sauce on my stovetop sticks around.
Sprays can leave grime behind, but new Mr. Clean Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser combines the scrubbing power of an eraser with the cleaning power of Dawn to melt away tough messes on contact.
Just wet, squeeze, and erase.
Stop spraying, start erasing, and clean with more magic than ever with new Ultra Foamy Magic Eraser.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
You're expanding your business and need to add to your fleet. Maybe you need another semi-truck or trailer. Don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used trucks and trailers. Whether you're an owner-operator or a fleet manager, I'll get the vehicles you need with a simple application and same-day approval. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353, or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
It's March Madness.
And the fairy tale ride continues. You can feel the madness. Oh my goodness. 3-pointer. Good at the buzzer.
March Madness on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is presented by Harmon Solar, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, Bet US, and Platinum Plus Cabaret. Catch all the excitement of the men's NCAA college basketball tournament on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
So what did the doctor say?
He said I might need surgery.
Wow, it's that serious.
Well, we won't know for sure until I talk with a surgeon, but I'm lost. This is all new to me.
The decision to have surgery isn't easy, but neither is living with pain.
There is an alternative to surgery. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach and can restore pain-free joint function so you can avoid surgery. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. We also help restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. So when traditional medicine suggests you need surgery, how about taking another approach? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every goal, every game, every point, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a game-winning goal in the final seconds of overtime or a shot on goal in the first period, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Welcome to hour number 3 of a Daily Blender episode on March 25th. Here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Right over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio. That's Keon Rose. My name is Randy White. Jeffrey O'Brien out today. He will be returning on Wednesday as we continue our March Madness week. Thursday night, it's the Sweet 16 first round games. Then it's the second round of the Sweet 16s on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, it's the Elite Eight. Oh, my gosh. There's so much basketball ahead. So much has happened already. Keon and I talked about it earlier. Our Harmon Solar 1580, the Fanatic Bracket Challenge, busted in the first round. But I feel like we still we have the goods to finish strong. I mean, I feel like Keon and I have the goods to finish strong here.
Maybe you've been checking your bracket and you're just discouraged. Remember, you have points from your correct answers from the first round, and then they accumulate as it goes on. So, maybe you're like 15, maybe you're 20. As long as your predictions are correct from here on out, you don't know. You might end up, winning that first place prize of $1,580 from Harmon Solar. You might win that second prize, that $500 gift certificate from Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. Maybe you win the third prize, which my understanding, and I don't know if there's any truth to this rumor, but it's a mystery surprise. Third place. Radio Ron was mentioning some sort of mystery surprise. Not sure. We've been talking about Shohei Ohtani, this betting thing that's going on. A lot of activity on the text line at 888-368-1580. Sheriff Tom is on there and says going to be interesting. Sports betting is illegal in California. He was in Anaheim, Orange County, not L.A. Orange County has no nonsense prosecutor, unlike L.A. County. If the translator did 50 G bets, he would have to make 80 wire transfers. No one would notice? Give me a break. Let's get Pete Rose's opinion.
It's not
That's
that
from Sheristan.
It's not that nobody would notice. It's, did he take enough that anybody would notice right away? Like I said, I don't think that he sat down and said, you know what, I'm going to make a $4.5 million bet and took
no,
it
I don't
once.
think that was it.
Yeah,
I think he was sunk into this guy for $4.5 million.
Yeah, and so he was just he was.
I think that was the total output, but I think
it
what
happened
Sheriff
over
Tom
time.
is saying. Well, that's what I'm. If he did 50 at a whap, that would be 80 bets. That'd be 80 bets at 50,000 a whap. Big George says, Randy and Keon, I agree with you guys. I don't trust Rob Manfred to ever do the right thing. Bring back the corpse of Paul Giamatti's dad, Bart Giamatti, former commissioner of baseball. Really?
What?
It's like a weekend at Bernie's. We're just going to prop him up in the seat there, and Drunky Drunk is just going to try to figure out who it is. Rico Suave says, does Keon work for the MLB? No. Keon's just saying, before you jump to conclusions, I think he's trying to keep me under control because I'm ready to jump to conclusions.
And I was also responding to Big George, who is the master of jumping to conclusions.
I think Keon is just trying to remind us all, let's wait for all the information.
Yeah, because I'm seeing some of the texts come in and everybody's like, how could he not know? Well, you don't know anything about the situation or about the guy. And so there's no way to know what he could and could not have known or what the people around him could and could not have known. And if we're going to say, whoever guy gets involved in some domestic dispute or whatever happened to Trevor Bauer, and people said then, wait for all the information, wait for all the facts. Why does that not apply here? Like, that's what I'm trying to understand.
Well, I think it applies here. And I think I can speak for Big George. I think I can say that I think we don't want to see this happen like this. But I mean, to call a press conference, have Davey Roberts go on MLB TV, and I watched it myself, so I know exactly what he said. This was Shohei's decision. This was clearly not Shohei's decision. I mean, anybody could just read the text or the transcript of the press conference. This was a prepared statement from the word go. And it was prepared not only by Shohei Ohtani's people, it was prepared by MLB Baseball, and it was prepared by the Dodgers. I mean, can you imagine the kind of firestorm this would cause if Shohei goes down for something like that?
Yeah. And even if Shohei wrote it himself, he sat down, his heart was hurting, he put pen to paper. There's no way that everybody involved in Major League Baseball in this process didn't read it and proofread it and help rewrite stuff, and that the Dodgers didn't. Because there's no way, if you wrote something that sounds like it even might suggest something incriminating, oh yeah, you're not saying that. No, you're not. He didn't just write this thing
He had lawyers
from his heart.
He had a drunky drunk, probably he slobbered on it. He had people all over the place making sure it was ironclad. Let's Arrowhead of the class. Thanks for texting in, Arrowhead of the class. It says, let he who hasn't mishandled a friend's $4.5 million cast the first stone. Well, I mean, I haven't mishandled $4.5 million of my friend's money, so I can throw stones all day. Is that what you're saying?
Because that's all of us. Unless you have friends that are out here loaning $4.5 million to you for you to mismanage.
Tell you this right now, if I had 4.5 mil, I'm not sports betting with it. I'll tell you that damn much. I wouldn't be on the radio right now. I'd be lost somewhere in the woods. All right, let's get off of this because this could go on the rest of the day. And there's so much more to talk about. There were the meetings, the NFL meetings going on in Orlando. Jeez, I'm having to move all kinds of stuff. We've got to get to Keon Rose's 1 month away NFL mock draft because that is something I really want to get to. Because I want to talk about that. Maybe we'll do that in the second segment here. But stay with me, everybody. Meetings in Orlando were going on, and there's a nice picture on CBS Sports of the commissioner clapping his hands up there. Look at him. He's very happy. Lake Buena Vista, Florida. I find it reasonably funny that it was somewhere near Disney World in Florida. In case you don't know, Lake Buena Vista is where Disney World is. The rules have been flowing at large here for the NFL. One of them is the hip drop tackle has been outlawed. Lots of happening today. The hip drop tackle is out. It's a foul if a player uses the following technique to bring a runner to the ground. Number one, grabs the runner with both hands or wraps the runner with both arms and unweighs himself by swiveling and dropping his hips and or lower body, landing on and trapping the runner's legs at or below the knee. That's a penalty. Unnecessary roughness. That'll be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. Penalty. And this is not set very well with the NFLPA. And it is not set very well with former players. Yeah. One player, two-hand touch, going to be the next LMAO.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Jordan has an official on the field, and the caption just simply says, hold up, flag on the play. And there's like 30 flags behind the official. Javon Holland says, breaking news, tackling ban. Mike Hilton says, offensive league, you know that. It's what the league is becoming. I mean, and the list goes on. J.J. Watt, just fast forward to the belts with flags on them. Oh, my God. Yeah. What have I been saying on this show, Keon? The NFL is turning into
flag football.
And there it is.
And the players agree. And this is the thing. Whenever they change some of these rules and players get blamed for it, fans will always come after the players when they change these rules. Like, oh, these guys are so soft today. They're babies. The guys don't want this stuff. Just the rules that you are putting in for player safety and all of that, you are putting in despite what the players want. Because as far as the players, they've been playing this way their whole lives. Now you're saying, no, it's a little different. Can't hit a guy this way. Can't tackle that way.
If you're an owner, though,
yeah,
doesn't this make sense though?
Yeah, and that's the reason why it's happening. It's like it's wildly unpopular, but you can't tell me that the Ravens don't like that Mark Andrews lost a good chunk of his season because of a hip drop tackle.
Oh,
that is precisely what happened.
Yeah.
And because the Ravens had Lamar and some other things working in their favor, it didn't stop them from making a playoff run. But there are a lot of teams that probably kills your run. That's potential playoff games. That's money. That's jerseys sold. That's money. That's tickets for regular season games.
Seats and butts, or butts and seats.
Money. So yeah, no, if you're an owner, like this rule makes complete and perfect sense. If you're a player, I also think some of the players are like, officials do such a bad job with some of this stuff already. There is a little subjectivity with the hip drop tackle. So the 30 flags joke is probably not that crazy. Like we're going to see some flags for hip drop tackles that's going to make us all insane. We're going to be mad about it.
One player simply says this. This is Jawan Bentley. He says on his X tweet, he says, no horse collar, no ducking the head, no hip drop, no slamming, no big hits on defenseless receiver. Y'all must not have had to tackle dudes before.
Well, yeah, the people making the rules haven't had to tackle dudes before. Not most of them. You try to get a little bit more diversity on this rules committee, but no, ultimately the guys with the big checkbooks that own all these stadiums and teams, those are the guys that are making the call.
And if you think it's all defensive players, listen to what Cardinals running back Michael Carter had to say. Man, they making it impossible to play defense.
Well, yeah, if you're an offensive guy, you notice. Like there's another way because the thing with the hip drop tackle is especially if I'm trying to tackle a bigger player, like at some point I am going to have to sit my weight down. And if I happen to be over his legs, I will hurt him. They will throw that flag. What if that's my only angle to tackle somebody from? And I'm actually not opposed to the rule. I'm just saying. I think they've got to do a better job of working with players to make a version of this rule that doesn't just completely make it feel like they're not even playing the same game that they were a season ago.
Another rule that was enacted today, getting a third challenge. A team will be permitted a third challenge if it is successful on at least one or both of its challenges. If a team wins both challenges, a fourth challenge will not be permitted. The maximum amount of challenges a team can have is 3 in a game. So 3 challenges. If you get the 2 right, or one of the 2, the way I read it, is that the way you read it? If you get one of the 2 challenges correct, you get a third.
Yeah. I think
I don't know.
To get them both,
I mean, look, if you get both challenges right, in my opinion.
I agree. I think that would be the way that makes a ton more sense, but
so you can blow one, just completely blow it and get the other one right, and you still get a third challenge. I don't like that.
Especially if you make that first one, then you can be a little bit more ridiculous with the second challenge because now you've just got one to play with and you can get it back.
All right. And then there's another one, which I'm going to have some help here because as the NFL can be, it's as clear as a muddy water. So listen to this, double foul with change of possession. If the team last in possession does not have, quote, clean hands, end quote, when it establishes possession, the penalties offset and the down is replayed at the previous spot. Clean hands, quote unquote, meaning no infringements. If both teams foul after the last change of possession, parentheses, double foul after change of possession, end parentheses, or the offense commits an unnecessary roughness or an unsportsmanlike conduct foul before the change of possession, the penalties are offset, and the team last in possession shall retain the ball at the spot where its foul would be enforced if it was the only foul, end quote. Gee whiz. You're going to have to help me with this one, Keon.
It's a lot of lawyer speak there.
No kidding.
You were reading it. My head was kind of spinning.
That's why I read it so slow. I was trying to figure out the hell is going on here.
I'm not sure I quite understand it, to be honest with you.
Sounds like if you have offsetting penalties and you have clean hands, you can get the ball back. I mean, having digested all of this stuff, you get the ball back if the other team commits unnecessary roughness or an unsportsmanlike conduct foul before the change of possession. Sounds like you get the ball back. Even if it was a 4th and short, you didn't make it, and you're supposed to change possession, and there's a double foul, but the other team, the defense, commits an unnecessary roughness or an unsportsmanlike conduct foul, you get the ball back. Sounds like to me. Now, I could be wrong.
That sounds right to me too, but yeah, no, this is I don't know what it was that they saw with this rule that they thought, let's add this. This will definitely make the game easier.
Anarchy.
Yeah.
This is going to be anarchy.
I'm not thrilled about it. Absolutely not thrilled about it.
We've got to take a break and kind of chew on this a little bit. And then we got to come back and get your take for it to mention 888-368-1580. Still a lot of people on the line here want to talk Ohtani. Not sure why. Hey, Pierre from Canada, just a few seconds ago. I'll have to translate that. All right, so we've got lots to cover, and then in the next segment, after the texts. And we try to put this the new things in order from the NFL out of Orlando today, out of Disney World today. We will get to Keon Rose's 1 month away mock draft live and direct here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Get insights into the sports betting market with VSiN's betting splits. See where the money is and keep updated on how the market is reacting. Only at VSIN.com. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The NCAA tournament now down to the Sweet 16, and the UConn Huskies are the betting favorite to repeat as national champions. UConn at plus 210 to be cutting down the nets in Phoenix, while the Houston Cougars, coming off an overtime win against Texas A&M Sunday, are at plus 550. Purdue, the number 1 seed in the Midwest region, plus 600. The Arizona Wildcats are plus 850. The Tennessee Volunteers, who have never made a Final Four, are plus 1,200 to be crowned national champions. The North Carolina Tar Heels are plus 1,300. Marquette is at plus 1,500. Iowa State plus 2,000. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When you use Bounce dryer sheets and your clothes look amazing, it's the sheets. Less static in your life? Yeah, it's the sheets. Smelling fresher than ever? It's the sheet. Oh, so soft fabric? Ooh la la. It's the sheet. Less wrinkles on your clothes? You know it's the sheet. Bounce dryer sheets. More freshness, more softness. Less static, less wrinkles. It's the sheet.
Hey, Jeffrey O'Brien here. And listen, Phoenix has had over 53 days of 110 degree plus this summer. This last July alone, we had 30 consecutive days of 110 plus. And this summer heat might just be the new normal for summers here in Arizona. What you need to do is call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Do you need equipment for your business but don't have the cash? I can help. I'm Dylan Cohen at JR Capital, and we offer no money down financing on new and used equipment. Excavators, forklifts, dozers, tractors, cranes, plows, and more. If it's essential to your business, I will help you get the money you need. It's faster and easier than asking your banker. Call me, Dylan Cohen, at 602-834-7353. That's 602-834-7353. Or visit moneyradio.com and click on Finance with Dylan.
It's March Madness.
And the fairy tale ride continues. You can feel the madness. Oh my goodness. 3-pointer. Good at the buzzer.
March Madness on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is presented by Harmon Solar, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, Bet US, and Platinum Plus Cabaret. Catch all the excitement of the men's NCAA college basketball tournament on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 6 to 8 for the Golf Shop Radio Show, presented by PlayGolfMyrtleBeach.com. The golf capital of the world. Hosts Mark Greenhelch and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're going to love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way, from up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet, weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Busy day of sports news happening, and we've got a lot to cover here on the Daily Blender. We'll be on the air full days today, obviously, until 6. Tomorrow till 6, Wednesday till 6, and Thursday, it is the continuation of the Sweet 16, the NCAA Men's March Madness basketball tournament happening. Arizona moving on. So I know that Mr. Wilbur is happy about that. And that's all I'm contractually obligated to say. I mean, that's it. That's all I am. I'm covering sports, and I said Arizona's moving, and that's it. That's all I have. I don't think I should have to do anything more. Keon, do you?
I really don't think so either.
Thank you.
It's a relevant piece of information. It was said, and we continue.
I'm so glad that the Fourth Dimension checking in today. Yes, we were off last week. There was a lot of basketball to cover, and being your home for NCAA March Madness, sometimes sacrifices have to be made. And in this case, Radio Ron decided to go with the March Madness, and what a great choice! I mean, between us and the March Madness, what would you rather? March Madness, I'm thinking. Pierre says, "Hello, Keon and Randy. I missed your show last week. I was forced to listen to poor quality Montreal sports radio shows in French. So boring. This show is way more interesting than Sean Campbell and Mitch Gallo on TSM AM 60. I'm sorry, AM 690. I spit on you, Sean Campbell." The hell, Pierre?
So he's not thrilled about local Canadian sport talk. That's I don't know what to say.
Well, Pierre, thank you for being back. We're glad to be here. Yes, we did have last week off, but we weren't like, well, I mean, Keon was. He was at a resort somewhere in Scottsdale. I can't divulge the information. But by the way, Keon, I mean, you look good. I mean, you look well rested.
Thank you.
The rest of us worked. But wow. I mean, you look good, man.
Well, thank you.
Did you get like a facial? What'd you have?
No.
Something new with the hair?
I got
what do you got going?
Plenty of sleep.
Because, well, I could see that.
Yeah, no, plenty of sleep.
I mean, you look well rested. I mean, wow. Says, I agree with you, Mr. White. The NFL is turning into a flag football league. Is this so all the players can participate in the 2028 Olympics in LA?
No, it's so that they don't have their legs crushed and owners lose money because a team's playoff run is over because they got hip drop tackled.
Well, I mean, that's true.
I mean, that's the real reason. It's the money lost. If your team is done, because that's the one thing that the NFL sells, I think, better than any other sport is the beginning of the season starts and you feel like some things go your way You could be in the playoffs. You get the right matchups. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
And even the worst teams feel this way, because how many times have we seen a team where you're like, that team's fraudulent. I don't know how good they are, but they wind up in the playoffs anyway. And as a fan base, you're happy that your team is there and you're happy to see them. The NFL can sell that. But if you have guys, important players on teams, just getting injured all the time because of certain tackles and certain plays, that's bad for the bottom line. And that's what the owners are here for.
Let's see here. Against the spread says every degenerate gambler that plays pro ball has a fall guy to place bets via Surgoget. I guess. Suggoget? What sports and what games were bet on by his interpreter? If it's pro baseball, especially Angels games, Ohtani played in, that's a red flag and probably Ohtani's bets. Well, we don't know what the games were. The bookmaker is under investigation by the feds. That's how this whole thing broke out. Apparently, allegedly, reportedly. That's how this thing broke down. It fell to pieces for Ohtani's interpreter pretty quickly, apparently, allegedly, reportedly.
I do think that because the interpreter is being investigated, by someone who's not Major League Baseball, that's our best chance for any true statements to come out. Because they're not beholden to the league and to hiding all of this information. So we may get some of it, but let's see.
Brunswick guy, you have made a serious error in judgment. We're glad you're back too. But he says, hi, Randy and Ken. Glad to hear the show's back on today. And it's family friendly for my kids to listen to. It's a serious error in judgment, Brunswick guy.
I'm not telling you what to do as a parent, because I'm not a parent. I don't have kids, but I strongly suggest you reconsider.
You do have a couple of cats though. So,
I mean,
Brunswick guy wants to know,
sure.
Hey, Keon, what happened to my University of Vermont Catamounts? They stumbled hard against Duke. I'm so sad.
I'm sorry for your Catamounts, man, but Duke's a really good team this year. That is a quality basketball team, and they're hot right now. They're getting hot at the right time.
All right, Hefty Lefty simply says this: since the new rules have been adopted in Disney World by the NFL owners, Hefty Lefty says Derrick Henry going to be damn near impossible to tackle if he isn't running directly at you now. Well, I mean,
he was damn near impossible to tackle before.
I was going to say the same damn thing. Yeah.
But I understand what you're coming from. Like, if he was hard to tackle before, if you can't pull back and drop your weight down to bring him down, what can you actually do? You can't horse collar him. Then you can't hip drop.
Yeah.
What's left?
Just grab onto his waist like in that commercial he was in for so long.
Yeah, and that commercial is based on real events. So,
Ralph has crabs checked in at the text line 888-368-1580. Keon Rose, the Shohei Ohtani defender. I like it. This is why I listen to this show, because Keon defends. I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. And I'm not defending Shohei Ohtani. Like, if Shohei Ohtani is lying, he can go to hell. I just want to see the information. I want to see
right straight to damn hell right now.
Yeah, look, I want to see the
Shohei
before I say anything in any direction about Shohei. I'm also not saying he's innocent, because I don't know.
All right, we've got through the text line. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for welcoming us back to the air. We're glad to be back too. But ladies and gentlemen, I've been wanting to get to this all day. And so now I am going to get to this as soon as I get my music going here, because it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for Keon Rose's mock draft. 1 month away, a mock draft, but don't start yet until I get the music going. All right, here we go. There's the music. There it is. It's time now for the Keon Rose's 1 month away NFL mock draft live on the Daily Blender.
Well, thank you, Randy. And look, it's as the people in the media would say, the fancy folks in the media, this is mock draft 1.0 for me.
It's 1.0. Oh, I thought
it's my
would
first
be up
one.
to four or five by now.
No, because I've been busy with a few things, so I haven't been able to go through each position group painstakingly. But don't worry, because I've gone through most of them painstakingly. So here we go. Right off the top.
All right,
we've got the Chicago Bears. And they're taking Caleb Williams, quarterback, USC. It's been in the cards for a very long time, and for very good reason. Caleb Williams is fantastic at football. I don't need to go too far into what the guy does really well. He's mobile. He can make plays off script. The positions from which he has thrown the football, he's moving left. He throws the ball right with pinpoint accuracy. It's on a rope. He can change arm angles. When you talk about arm talent and you watch Caleb Williams play, that's what we're talking about. Gets thrown around a lot, but for him, it absolutely applies. Number 2, my Washington Commanders are going to be also selecting a quarterback.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Drake May, the quarterback from North Carolina. And I have waffled on this. Fish Tank has checked in on me on a pretty weekly basis and asking me where I am. And I swear every week I'm either on the May side or the Daniel side. It's back and forth. I'm starting to settle on Drake May a whole lot more, though. I just like all of the tools that the guy has. Similar to Caleb Williams, he's able to make plays out of structure. He's able to throw the ball in tight windows. It's everything that you're looking for. He's got the size too. He's a big dude. And I think that we've seen some quarterbacks actually struggle at the NFL level because they aren't big enough. So they try to extend plays like they did in college. You get brought down because you're not exactly making some of these guys miss, and you're not strong enough to get away. Drake May's not going to have those problems. He's very much built like a Big Ben. He's big dude. And I like that. Third, got the Patriots. The Patriots taking Jaden Daniels. So they'll take the quarterback that's left.
Really?
By the way, my mock draft does not have trades. I'm not interested in trying to guess which teams are going to be moving around on draft day.
So you think the Patriots are going to go ahead and take Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, I think that they need a quarterback. They've got Jacoby Brissett right now. I mean, if someone offered them something insane, then yeah. But Jaden Daniels is a really good football player. There's a reason why that guy won the Heisman. It's the alarming amount of touchdowns that he was able to throw for and run for throughout the year. Deep ball accuracy might actually be the best in this class from him. He is. He drops it in the bucket. He attacks the sidelines incredibly well. My only issue with Jaden Daniels, really, relative to the other guys, is the size. He's a little leaner than all of those guys, and when he takes hits, he takes some really bad ones in the NFL. I'm going to take Jaden Daniels from LSU for the Patriots, though.
All right.
I think he gives them some excitement, and if they can protect him, get him to play more structured, it'd be good. It'd be good for the long term of Jaden Daniels and the Patriots. Number 4, the Arizona Cardinals. Don't overthink it. Just take Marvin Harrison Jr. from Ohio State.
I mean, why overthink this?
Aston Marvin. The guy's fast. He's got great hands. He's a generational prospect. He's absurd. Don't look. Rome Odunze, really good. Malik Neighbors, really freaking good. Don't overthink it. I would run the Marvin Harrison pick up to the podium if I were the Cardinals. I'm not going to let that thing count down all. No,
just not even wait the 10 minutes. Just go right up and just announce it.
I mean, the commissioner could wait as long as he wants to, but it's not because the pick wasn't in already.
There it is.
That is what I would do if I were the Arizona Cardinals in that moment. And then number 5, and I have to think about this one really hard because you've got Jim Harbaugh as the head coach now, and there are a
you
lot
heard
of
what he said about quarterbacks today.
Yeah, he said that J.J. McCarthy was a top guy.
So does he go with J.J. McCarthy as a backup to Justin?
He's got Justin Herbert. I wouldn't spend the draft capital on a backup quarterback this high, especially with Justin Herbert being as young as he is. To me, there's no reason for that. I think you start getting Justin some weapons, somebody to throw the ball to.
What about an offensive line?
You can go that way too. And this is a deep offensive line draft. And I did consider that for the Chargers, but I think that Harbaugh wants to be able to be a little aggressive offensively. He's never been a deep ball guy though. So I think that they're going to go with Brock Bowers, the tight end out of Georgia. I think that Brock Bowers is very much the kind of impact tight end that you can line up all over the place. If you can clean up some of his issues blocking, he's also somebody who can give you a lot of versatility on the offensive line as well. Jim Harbaugh likes to run the football, so Brock Bowers builds into that a little bit as well. I think the Chargers are going to take him. Number 6, I've got the Giants, and the Giants need to get Daniel Jones a weapon. The fact is, even though he missed a bunch of games last year, I don't think he would have been very successful. And part of that is, who the hell is he throwing to? That Giants wide receiving core is sad. So I'm going to take Rome Odunze from Washington, the wide receiver for the Giants, because I just think that what Odunze does well in any other draft, he might actually be the best wide receiver in the draft. It just happens that Marvin Harrison is in this one. Odunze is big. He's also fast for his size. And he did a lot of work at the catch point. And I'll stop right here before we go to break. But I got one last one here. The Titans need to rebuild their entire offensive line. It looks like Will Levis is their guy that they're going to build around. So why not get him a left tackle to protect the blind side? Joe Alt, the left tackle out of Notre Dame. Nasty, powerful guy, but he's also very light on his feet. He moves around really well. And he's got the size, the arm length, everything that you're looking for from an offensive tackle moving forward.
And there it is, Keon Rose's mock draft, 1 month away, mock draft 1.0. Can we expect another mock draft? Maybe
we can, yeah. I'm gonna do a little bit more digging, and then
you're gonna add trades and suspicion and drama and mystery and all that into your next mock draft.
No, probably not. I've just never been big on all of the trades, and I know we only got through 7 of these.
Yeah.
It's just the mock drafts do take a long time to actually explain.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have the Cardinals, by the way, later on in the draft with pick number 27 taking Chop Robinson, which would be, if he was there, the edge rushing help would be immense. I just think that he is an insanely talented player. So you come away from that first round with Marvin Harrison and Chop Robinson, I think you've done all right.
All right. So there it is. Keon Rose's mock draft, 1 month away, mock draft 1.0. I don't think it's too soon for mock drafts to be brought up here on the show.
Especially now that we're done with free agency.
Yeah.
This is now everybody knows what they have left to get. Let's do it.
All right, round the corner. We're going to wrap this mother up for a Monday. We got on this date in Big Georgia sports history. We got some NFL news, maybe a Wheel of Sports. Who knows? It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
We're David and Greg Figueroa, founders of Melinda's Hot Sauce.
Customers say we've ruined all other hot sauces for them.
So we're sorry.
For rocking your world.
We're sorry we craft hot sauces from fresh, hot, flavorful ingredients, while other brands just use dried spice dust and vinegar. So a moment of silence.
Set your mouth on flavor with Melinda's Hot Sauces. Find them at your local retailer or online at melindas.com. That's MELINDAS.com.
It's March Madness.
And the fairy tale ride continues. You can feel the madness. Oh my goodness. 3-pointer. Good at the buzzer.
March Madness on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is presented by Harmon Solar, Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, Bet US, and Platinum Plus Cabaret. Catch all the excitement of the men's NCAA college basketball tournament on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
When you wake up well-rested on a great mattress, everything becomes clear.
I do make everything about me.
Things you missed when you were tired finally reveal themselves.
My passport is in the pocket of the duffel bag I took to Mexico.
At Mattress Firm, we know the right mattress matters. We also know that price does too. So if you see a lower price somewhere else, we'll match it. Plus, you get free and fast delivery. Shop in-store or online at mattressfirm.com. The right mattress matters. We'll find yours. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
When Cynthia came to TurboTax, she just launched her new side gig, a true crime podcast.
I'm a first-rate detective with a golden voice.
As her TurboTax expert, I made her second income count by guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and her maximum refund.
What did she do with that refund? Find out next week.
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Are you ready for your passion to meet your purpose? The city of Chandler is one of the best run cities and best places to live in Arizona, where people express their passion through collaboration and teamwork as we serve our community of innovation. Come to Chandler, where passion meets purpose. Visit jointeamchandler.com for our current openings. That's jointeamchandler.com.
This message is sponsored by the City of Chandler.
Jeffrey O'Brien here, and congratulations. You just made it through the hottest summer in Arizona history. No lie. The only proof you need is in that electric bill. If you don't have solar, I wonder how bad it's going to get next year. You need to call Harmon Solar today. Harmon Solar could save you over 80% off your electric bills. They're a locally owned, family-owned company. Call Harmon Solar for a free estimate. 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
In the morning, get out of my bed.
Wake up, Phoenix, to the best new morning sports show on radio. Join me, Tony D.
And me, Ron Culver, every weekday from 6 to 9 a.m. right here on 1580 99.3, The Fanatic.
Yeah, so Brunswick guy says he's glad the show's back on the air. And then Quiet Cannon a few seconds ago says, a good show today, Randy and Keon. Well organized. You hit all the highlights. Well, thank you. And we're glad to be back. Against the Spread says, you're wrong about the Bears taking Williams, Keon, because before George Halas died, he wrote a note on the Post-it note, Vontae Mack or nothing. By the way, in order to tackle Derrick Henry, with the new rule change, linebackers will have to pack a pistol like Billy Cole did in the last Boy Scout. So that's against the spread right there.
There's a lot there.
Pierre is still texting and he wants to spit on Sean Campbell. He wants to spit on him.
Oh, we won't get in your way.
So. I mean, I don't know what to say about that.
I don't know the man, but
yeah,
you know.
There was one. J Rod said, "Did you just say baseball was going to cover?" That was an hour ago. Yes, I think one of us did.
It would be entirely unsurprising. It would be exactly on brand for this particular commissioner regime. I mean, I don't want to suspect that, but I feel much more confident about the fact that they would cover it
and cover
than I am
you
about.
See what he's saying? You say baseball's going to cover? 888-368-1580. About 16 minutes left in the program. And it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1982, Wayne Gretzky, the NHL's new 21-year-old scoring machine, knocked in 2 goals and assisted on 2 more in leading the Edmonton Oilers to a 7-2 victory over the Calgary Flames. The 6 points gave him 203 on the season and made him the first player in history of the league to score that many in a single season. No other player has reached 200 points in 1 year. Gretzky did so 4 times. Can you believe that? No other player has reached 200 points, scoring 200 points in a season. Now, hockey is a little different. Hockey doesn't consider if you score a goal, okay, that's a goal. But if you score a goal, that's also a point. And if you assist on a goal, that's another point. So 203 or 200 plus in a season was only done by Wayne Gretzky because he had so many assists and goals in his 1982 season. Well, I mean, that was the first. He did it 4 times. Now, guys, today, there's Austin Matthews with the Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're talking that, he's going to, oh my goodness, he's going to get 100 points. Talk to me when he gets up to around 200 points. Now, 100 goals. Now that's something big.
And if that's how he got all of his points, that's still special.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
just not the
he
same way.
also. I wonder if Austin Matthews, Arizona, born and bred, by the way, grew up playing hockey here in the desert. So you guys that don't believe hockey works in the desert, Austin Matthews. That's all I have to say. And there's other guys in the league that are on a torrid scoring pace. Hang on, I have to drink.
Don't we all?
Well, it's that time of season.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
If you don't keep the water on the old pipes, man. Anyway, that was a good one on this day in Big Georgia sports history. As we had for the, we haven't done this in a while. Why not? Well, I've got NFL news. I mean, all right, let's do this. Where are the Diamondbacks going in 2024? According to the news media. Now, every year we go through this, so let's go ahead and let's talk about it. According to ESPN, they have lined this out here, and these are the teams that they have in 3 different tiers. Tier 1 is the super teams. Number 1, they have the Atlanta Braves. No kidding. Really? And they give them an odd 99% playoff odds and 28.5% to win the World Series. Sorry.
It's just they're the Braves. They're solid year in, year out. They're always competitive. They haven't really fallen off. I think they've got as good a shot as anybody, right?
Sure. Number 2, guess.
Guess? I mean, the Dodgers.
Thank you.
Would have to be the Dodgers.
They've got them projected record 104-58 with a 99% playoff odds and a 26.5% to win the World Series. Now, this is ESPN.
And it's some analytical model that's got, all of these, the stats and everything accounted for, but just throwing a heap of talented guys together doesn't necessarily make you a winning baseball team.
Tier 2. These are the biggest threats in Tier 2. Tier 1 were the elite teams. What do they call them? The super teams, Super 2. Tier 2 is biggest threats. And at number 3, ESPN has the Houston Astros with a 92% playoff percentage and 12.5% to win the World Series. And their projected record is 97-65. This one's going to get you, Keon. Number 4, the Baltimore Orioles. They're saying that is a Tier 2 highest threat team with an 87-75 projected record, 60% playoff odds, and 3.3% World Series odds.
That does get me a little bit. I mean, they were good last year, though.
No, they were. They had a great season.
Do we think that they can do it again? Do we think that they can build on that? I'm guessing the answer is yes, because why else would you have them here in the Tier 2?
Number 5 in Tier 2. Number 5 overall, but in Tier 2, Philadelphia Phillies, 88-74 is their projected record, 68% playoff odds, only 2.2% World Series odds. This is where it starts to get interesting. Number 6, the Texas Rangers are projected to go 87-75 with 54% playoff odds. That's the reigning world champion, Texas Rangers, who haven't lost a whole lot. The Yankees are projected to go 91-71 at number 7, and they're still in this Tier 2.
I've got to start seeing it with the Yankees. The blind
me
faith
too.
time with them is over. Like
Me too.
they can't just ride on the name the Yankees forever.
Thank you. Yeah.
Aaron Judge shows up every year, but they seem to get a collection of guys that either can't stay healthy or can't play up to the level that they're paying them.
ESPN it loves the Yankees.
Yeah, because it's just the Yankees at 7. That's weird. That is very strange to me.
Right behind them at 8 is the Tampa Bay Rays. Again, we're still in these biggest threats tier. This tier 2, the Tampa Bay Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays are projected to go 87-75 with a 54% playoff odds. I mean, they've been there. I guess they still have Randy Arozarena. He seems to be hitting the ball better. They seem to always have a pitching staff, and they seem to have young players that can perform. So, all right. At number 9 in tier 2, the Arizona Diamondbacks. What? Finally, some love for the Diamondbacks.
I'm not going to lie. The way they were going, I thought they were going to put the Diamondbacks in tier 3.
I did too.
There was a level of disrespect that I was starting to feel for these Diamondbacks.
84-78. The reigning NL champions, who, by the way, beat Atlanta and swept the Dodgers on the way to the World Series last year, losing to the Texas Rangers. They give them an 84-78 record with a 51% playoff odd. And the Diamondbacks, I feel, have added some strength. Gabriel Moreno is going to be doing well. So is Corbin Carroll, the 2 youngsters. They've got Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly in their bullpen, and they've added Eduardo Rodriguez, Eugenio Suarez, and Jock Peterson to help out this staff, the lineup.
And I'm personally excited about Brandon Pfaadt. I mean,
listen,
he found another level in the playoffs last year, and I am just hoping that he can find that for the regular season next year. Because if he can, you have something. You have something scary.
And this spring, and I know spring training is meaningless, but Alek Thomas has been looking wonderful this spring, and so is Geraldo Perdomo. So we'll wait and see. And don't forget the Diamondbacks have a youngster, Jordan Lawler, that if he gets a chance to come up, oh my God, he's going to add so much to this lineup. But I think that with Corbin Carroll, if he has another season like everyone expects he will, he's going to lead this team. And if you can get Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly really to buckle down, you had Brandon Pfaadt to that. All right, tier 3. We've got a few minutes here. These are could-be contenders. Tier 3. You got the Seattle Mariners at number 10. Projected record 86-76. At 11, you got the Toronto Blue Jays, which I think is an absolute buffoon mistake on ESPN's part. Give me a break. They've added Justin Turner. They've got that kid, Iser Kiner Falefa. This kid he's a specialist. He can hit anywhere. They brought in Daniel Vogelbach. I mean, these guys don't forget Bo Bichette.
Vlad Jr. They've got a lot of solid players.
Could be contenders. Give me a break. Then they've got at 12 the Minnesota Twins at 89-73. They've got the Padres at 13, which the Padres, I'll be honest, they've taken some hits.
Yeah, I just think that nobody trusts them as a team. Because they've had talented teams before that just didn't do anything.
Well, but they got rid of the pitcher and they kept Yu Darvish. What's his name? He signed with the Giants. I can't think of him. He used to be a Devil Ray, and he went over to the. You know who I'm talking about. He won the NL Cy Young last year. The Chicago Cubs are 14. 14. The Giants are at 15. Let me tell you something about the San Francisco Giants. They're going to be much better than they were last year. So are the Reds, who are 16. The Cardinals are in trouble. St. Louis Cardinals.
The Mets are going to be better. And I'll tell you, my outside team that I'm looking at real hard, the Detroit Tigers. Watch for their pitching staff to be a big surprise. They've got a lot of youngsters, and if they can get it going early and they can compete, the Tigers will be a team to deal with. Well, Keon, I guess that's it for this Monday edition. It's been fun hanging out with you, man.
Yeah, good times.
We are going to be back tomorrow for another 3-hour version of the Daily Blender. Then on Wednesday, your national nightmare's over. Jeffrey will be back. This has been the Daily Blender on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's time, basketball bettors. It's March Mania. Jeffrey O'Brien here to tell